I'm professional. I'm professional. I'm professional, right? I'm not professional at all. But hey, you guys, I am back. I am back. I am back. I did extend the live stream to um, 5 o'clock because I am a late person. Are you a late person? Because I am a late person. And and I am new. I mean, I'm not new to YouTube, but I'm new to this type of thing that I'm doing lately. I'm new to Twitter. I'm new to StreamYard. So that's well, I mean, I've kind of used StreamYard in the past, but not like, really a lot. So I decided to try it again, and we have a lot on the docket today. So we're going to go ahead and kind of just say hello. Happy Tuesday to all of you guys. As you know, I am, my new channel name, if you will, is the Canon Girl Theories. How did I come up with that? I don't know. I use a Canon to film my to film my videos. I'm just new into photography, and these are my theories. So, dig in the hat, you guys. This is my ink doll hat from an inked company. I can't remember who I ordered this from, but if I remember, I'll link it below for y'all. I got it actually quite some time ago, and I live in Northern California, and it is very cloudy today. It was kind of really not. It's been nice because it's been super like cloud. Do you guys like when it's overcast? And it's been really, really nice weather. Kind of still wintry weather, and I'm kind of tugging on that winter as much as I can before it like drags me into summer full on. Because I know I think we have a couple more days of some decent weather, and then I think we jump to 90. So it'll be sunny and hot. And y'all, I don't know about you, but I've gained some weight. So I do have my office, that's what she said, sweatshirt on today, because we are going to talk about the hot topic of the the expert forensic psychologist for Deb's team and for Amber's team. So I did a little bit of research last night, and I kind of want to just go over, kind of the docket. I will be here, you guys, for about 4 hours probably. And yeah, so I'm going to start live streaming probably daily, and I'm going to be doing it for quite some time because I'm trying to even catch myself up on the trial before we resume court. I've been keeping up, like I said, with a lot of, a law tube, if you will, and some people that are reporting on this case that have that have accumulated some documentation. There is a lot of documentation, I have to say, floating around Twitter, which is nice just because I really haven't seen any of that. So that's kind of interesting to me. So I did save some of it, and I will start the live stream with that. But first, I just want to say happy Tuesday to all of you guys, and I hope that all of you guys are doing well and have had a decent day. I know it's probably wrap up for you. At this point, I am streaming on Twitter. Hello, Twitter. Hi. My name's Christina. I would like for you guys to refer to me as C because, I don't know, I like it. But yeah, I'm new to commentary, and so I really have been interested in the Depp Heard case. It's all over everything. And I did stream for the first time last night with my brother, so that was cool. It was nice to launch this week of these live streams and kind of the launch of my new adventure here on YouTube in this community with like a male perspective. So that was kind of nice. And we did do a little bit of kind of checking out some audio and checking out some channels and things that I had talked about, and then we took a look at Twitter really quick to see what was floating around there. And like I said, today I won't torture you so much with Twitter, but I did, I have been kind of trying to keep my eye on it to see what's floating around, and what people are saying and so on and so forth. I am new to Twitter though, but I love it. I absolutely love it. So on the docket today, I actually wanted to kind of go over that with you. And that's the only thing, I have everything up ready except for that one document, of course. So hopefully, if you catch me live, please check in, say hello. If you find me through the YouTubes or Twitter, leave me a comment. I don't really know how, I know when I stream on Twitter, I don't really know how it allows everybody to make comments because I'm new to Twitter. But like if you're on YouTube, I would love if you guys subscribe, tap the like button, and hit the notification bell if you are digging my opinion and my conversation with this whole thing, which is a lot, as we know. So so I want to talk about I want to go over kind of some documents that I've seen on Twitter first. So we're going to kind of cover Amber Heard first. Then we're going to talk about Dr. Curry and Dr. Hughes' testimony. And I really kind of want to watch a little bit with you just their credentials, so that we can weigh out their credentials. And then I also want to go over their diagnosis or their whatever they saw in Amber Heard versus kind of each one of them. And that way we could just refresh our memory, because I really don't want to go over Johnny Depp and Amber Heard's testimony so much at the moment, even though we left off with her. I feel like we talked a little bit about her testimony last night. I will let you guys know what's on the docket tomorrow. I really kind of want to go back over the witnesses a little bit, even to refresh my own memory, because it's been a little while, days go by and there's so much that's been going on with this thing. It's like, it's really kind of hard to keep up with everything. But yeah, so let's go ahead and just kind of talk about the divorce and what I did cover a little bit of this last night, but I just kind of wanted to show you guys what I was seeing on Twitter, because I feel like some of the stuff I haven't seen, which is pretty cool. Just to see this in documentation, right? So there was an email that was surfing around Twitter, if you guys didn't see it, from TMZ. I don't know if you guys saw this before. I didn't see it prior to seeing it on Twitter. So I may have seen it in a video even, I'm not really sure. But I did want to go ahead and kind of read this, because I thought it was just freaking, I thought it was hilarious. I just thought it was hilarious. So that's what she said. You know what I mean? Like, I was reading this. It's pretty much referring to their divorce. And I wanted to go ahead and share that. So I'm going, hey, Language of Horses, how are you? So I'm going to start, like I said, with this document. Because I saw it on Twitter. I don't know if you guys have seen it yet, but I want to kind of talk about it just because I find half of this stuff just hilarious. Just because, okay, first before I start this document, let me just say this. Okay, let me just say this. Okay. I do believe that Amber Heard has bent the truth. I mean, I don't believe the half of the things that are coming out of her mouth. I just don't. I don't, because everything that we find out once she opens her mouth is always the opposite. And I feel like this is very, very common, I feel like, with borderline personality and histrionic, if you have researched that at all. And towards the middle of the stream, we'll talk about that as well, because I want to just kind of look it up and see, there's a clip too that I want to play you that I forgot to get ready. So I'm gonna kind of grab this clip really quick so that we have it for later, just because I don't want to take too much time, surfing the internet. But I do want to play this clip because I thought it was really important to share, honestly. So, okay, let me just grab this thing. I think I have that on mute. I don't know. I have to see, but let me grab this clip because I thought it was super important. And I think even actually, as I say this before I read that document that has to refer to the divorce, I'm gonna play you something. And so when I was researching kind of relationships that just, I don't know, I feel like if you're ever with a partner that alters your reality and makes, how like when you're in a relationship and shit goes wild or whatever, and that other counterpart says you're crazy, or I've never done that in my life, I've never said that in my life, I've never, you know what I mean? Have you ever had that happen? Well, I have. So, I mean, I just wanted to kind of play a clip for a guy that I found. I found him in 2016. There has been a lot of talk in the YouTube's realm, if you will, in the inter-Googles, that a lot of people don't agree with him. Just gonna say it. I mean, there's controversy no matter what, right? Like, it's like someone comes out with something and everybody's like ready to pounce on it and say, no, this person's wrong, they're full of shit, whatever. Just like kind of like what we're doing with like the psychologist, honestly, or the psychiatrist, or whatever the hell they are. I mean, I think it's just it's like they said, it's a matter of your own opinion. You're an individual. You get to kind of make your own determination of who you're going to believe or what you side with or whatever. It's like everybody's different, and that's kind of the way it is. So I am going to read that document, but give me 1 second, just because I meant to have this ready, and I was like, girl, don't forget. And this girl forgot. So, and it's funny too, because I was late. I was like, oh crap, I can't go on at 4. Then I changed it to like 4:30. Then I changed it to 4:45, and I was like, oh fuck it, I'm just gonna do 5 o'clock. But my family knows I am not a person that's ever on time. So tomorrow I'll probably go on at about 5:30 or something like that, just to give myself a little bit of time to sit and have everything ready. Or if I'm really smart, I'll have it ready before I sit down. You know what I mean? And then I'll have it ready to go, so I don't have to feel flustered or whatever. But that's the thing I love about live streaming, is that, especially about something like this, is that it's not like making a video, like where you're like so like nervous about like the person getting annoyed and wanting to leave. Live streams are like kick back. That's what I love about doing this. And I'm going to continue to do live streams like as much as I can. So this guy's name is Richard Grannon. It should be already in the description box. It's not. I'm just going to be honest. But I will leave him when I'm done. But he talks about histrionics, and he also has a test for narcissism, which I don't know if that's really even, I don't know if we want to cover that, honestly. But let me see. Histrionic. Let me see. Is that what I was? I think that's what I was. I know he has a short video. I don't even know if I'm spelling that right. Give me 1 second. I apologize. I know I should be ready for y'all, but I'm not. Oh, crap. How do you spell histrionic? Here it is. Okay. Thank goodness for the auto check, right? This one is like, it's just like a 3-minute video, man. It was like surfing around Instagram. And now that's an hour long. I'm not trying to do that. Give me just 1 second to find this video. And it's weird too, because once you look something up and you've seen it, it will like give you a red line, like you've seen it before. I think it's this one. I think it's this one. So give me a second, because I'm gonna kind of pause this. I'm gonna turn it on and pause it, but I could have swore that this is it, and it might be. I don't know. I have to just. Okay. So I'm gonna leave that there just for a second. We'll leave that there, because I think this is what I was looking for. But I'm also gonna look for if you have the patience for me. I'm gonna find this. The histrionic one too, though, because I think it's important, I mean, we'll look up borderline and histrionic as well, and I should have had the meaning of that, the definition of that anyways. But you know what? Since I'm doing this right now, I may as well just bring it up right now. So tell me how you guys are. How are you? Language of Horses. How was your day today? Did you have a good day? I did. I was just like, kind of lazy from last night. I was up until like 2. I didn't eat till midnight. I came kind of armed tonight. I have water. I have a diet soda. And I had a little snack before I started. So I'm kind of ready. I'll be hungry by the time I'm done. But I was looking for something that would be simple. Okay, so we'll just read from here. I mean, it's not really Richard Grannon's, but we'll leave that. And then we're going to do histrionic really quick. We're going to do histrionic. Google, let me see. We're gonna do histrionic as well, just so people know, because like this stuff is being, it's gonna see the reason why I chose to do this today is because everybody's kind of really refreshing everybody's memory about the two forensic psychologists, and because I'm watching my videos as well daily to kind of keep up with those people that have sources and that have all this documentation that are coming out. I know there are certain people out there, especially on Twitter, that are actually like because I was watching the real Laura B on one of the panels, and I can't remember if she was on Popcorn Planet or if she was on Legal Bites, but I know she said that when she took an interest, I think she said when she took an interest in a case, they were like pulling public documents, from the actual case. And so, these once they get entered or something, and I may be wrong, because that's the thing about me saying something, is that I just don't want someone to come back and say, no, that's not right. But I think that there's a time within court, I believe. I don't know if it's from the time that they're filed, but I do know that once they enter the court system, I believe that when they become public, then anybody can look them up, of course, right? So the real Laura B on Twitter is who I've been following in terms of kind of accurate information as well. And then I've been watching That Umbrella Guy because he's got a lot of documentation as well that he kind of displays in his videos. And that's kind of how I'm trying to just make sure that what information I kind of base my opinion on seeing, that that is what I guess is reliable, if that makes sense. Because I mean, I'm saying that it is reliable because it obviously is official court documentation. So that's why I'm kind of talking about that, So I just wanted to kind of, I think we're just gonna read this little paragraph here. Oh, actually, here's from Cleveland Clinic. So we'll read this in a little while later on when we chill. But the reason why I think this is important is because, they can say something, but I wanted to actually like go somewhere where we could actually see something that is like kind of like the CDC. You know what I mean? Somewhere where you can actually see what the signs and symptoms are of this type of personality, if that makes sense, because it all ties in, I believe, to borderline personality disorder. And the one thing I do have to say is when I play Richard Grandin's clip, I know I saw a video from him a couple of days ago, and I know that he is against the actual diagnosis. He was saying something about that he wishes that they would just do away with it, and I'm not really sure why. I know he specializes in psychology and stuff like that as well, but I'm not quite sure why. And he does explain. He always explains like why he feels the way he feels. So it's not like, he's just like saying that or something. But I like him a lot. There's another guy that I watch I feel like it's very descriptive about, narcissism and things like that, is Sam Vaknin. He has an interview, and I've got it many, many times. It's an interview I found. It was made in 2016. There has been updated information in regards to what he talks about in this interview currently. And I am going to take a day and we're going to talk about this because I think it's important. I mean, especially with what's circulating now. And we live in such a crazy time. Like, since I've been on Twitter, and I've been, kind of watching all this stuff unfold with Amber Heard and this and that. It did remind me of Elizabeth Holmes, and her story. Obviously, the two scenarios are different, but it was, when you're talking about lying, you have to think about it, right? Like you think, well, first of all, major lying, you think of Casey Anthony, right? Who lied her ass off. I don't know, honestly, if Jodi Arias really falls into that, because Jodi Arias did she lie at first? I think she did lie. And then, of course, she just came out in court and said, yes, I did all these heinous things to this person. But still I included her because I did this post, and I said, which one doesn't belong? And it's like, Jodi Arias obviously went to, prison for bad things, but at the same time, when you're thinking about it, and when you're thinking of Jodi Arias, Casey Anthony, Elizabeth Holmes, and now Amber Heard. I mean, it's sad, but I honestly feel like she's going to slide into that, you know, she is. She's going to end up being sort of in that bracket. And I don't, you know, I mean, it's like she can't help but not, right? You know, because you just can't say all these things and have nothing to back them up. I feel like if she didn't want this kind of doubt, then she should have had more ways to authentically back up her story. I feel like you can't just say, well, I did this and this person was standing there, so that's what happened. And I say that because everybody that actually, when an incident happens, let's take, like, for instance, a car accident. Okay, we'll just take that into, you know, we'll just use that as an example. There's the people that are in the car that have the car accident, right? There's the people that see the car accident, right? And then there's the people that, which would be the police, right? That would walk around and ask people what they saw. So there's 3 versions that you're going to hear. And then there's the actual truth of the accident itself. Like if someone was to video it, let's say, you know what I mean? So I feel like the truth has no versions. I mean, people have their perceptions of what things of how they see things happening. But the truth is the truth. There's only one version of the truth. You can't alter the truth. You can't alter the truth to make it to your satisfaction. You just can't do that. You know, you can't do that. And thank you so much for mentioning about the tags. You know what? When I scheduled this, I'm gonna try to do it right now. But when I scheduled this, I forgot to tag it, and I meant to tag it before I went live. And again, I was kind of getting caught up in getting everything ready for what I wanted to talk about, and I just had to tag it. And I don't know, honestly, if while I'm live, it's gonna let me tag it, which sucks, but I'll try. Let's see. Let me see if I can add the tags. I don't know if I can do that while I'm live, but we'll see. We shall see. I don't think it's gonna let me. Will it let me? Let me see. Just give me a second really quick, and I will see if I can tag it. I forgot. I can't believe I forgot. Oh, actually, it is going to let me tag it. Okay. Is it going to let me tag it? Let's see. Let's just see here. Yeah. Oh my God, I didn't put any tags in here. Can you believe that? Let's see. Okay. Let me see. Oh crap. Wait, don't I have to? Sorry. I know this is really bad. I'm such a terrible host. Welcome to the Candid Girl Theories. I'm your stupid host. Okay. Let's see. Wait. I don't know what else to tag it on. I don't know. The trial, I guess. Let's see. Let me see. I have these apps that I think I can do this. I think I can. Okay, I'm gonna leave that just for there because I feel like it's rude to do this while I'm online. I'm cracking myself up. I'm a rookie. All right. Anyways, like we were saying, now that I've tagged that, that's good. So yeah. So anyway, so there's this video, right? Of Richard Grannon, like I was saying, where he talks about the reason why I wanted to play these Richard Grannon clips, if I didn't go like off track, because I do that. I'm ADHD. Just know that in advance, because my mind is all over the place. I'll be talking about something and I'll just be like, wait, there's a butterfly, and you'll be like, what the fuck is she talking about? I'm all over the place. Sorry, you guys, it's raining here. I don't want to be rude. Sorry. But it's raining here and my nose is running and I don't mean to be rude. So please do not take that offensively. My nose is actually running and I don't know what else to do but to grab a napkin and take care of that. So anyway, so there's this, the reason why I bring this up anyway, like I was saying, is that, you know, you can't help like all these major stories of these women that are getting away with just craziness. Like Casey Anthony was crazy, that she got away with that. I mean, it was unbelievable. And then, you know, watching that Elizabeth Holmes, like I saw them, I found it on Hulu first, and then I saw it on Hulu, and then I saw it on 60 Minutes because I didn't really know the story. So I saw that, and then I started thinking about who else did I mention? Elizabeth Holmes, Jodi Arias, Casey Anthony, and then now Amber Heard. And so when I was listening to her on that stand, and you know how dramatic she was, and just the line, because if you think about the Elizabeth Holmes case, if you've seen it, then you know that she never showed the machine. That's the thing, is that she got all this backup and this funding, and she never showed anything. So if you haven't seen that yet, I would highly recommend that you go to Hulu and see that the story of Elizabeth Holmes, because it doesn't make any sense. It just, I don't know. Anyway, so we're gonna go ahead and just go with what we have, because I just looked at the time and it's been 27 minutes, and that's just not the way you run a show. So anyways, so I'm gonna show you this document that I saw on Twitter, because I feel like it's kind of interesting, and I'm gonna read it because someone was talking about it on Twitter. So I'm going to share this screen now and we're going to read it. And there it is. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of blow it up a little bit. And it says Amber Heard. This is, I guess I could read it all, but the key paragraph was this. Amber wishes to work quickly towards a private and amicable resolution of all matters. This is regarding the divorce. But she will need Johnny's immediate cooperation to do so. Okay? To this end, please have Johnny promptly sign and return by Friday, May 27, 2016, the enclosed notice and acknowledgement of the receipt form, conforming service of the summons, petition, family law case cover sheet, and blank response. If the requested notice is not signed and the original executed form is not returned by May 27th, we will have no alternative but to arrange for Johnny to personally be served. So the way that I understood it is Johnny wanted to leave the relationship. This is the way I interpreted it. So if I'm wrong, if anybody comes along in this stream and comes right now or near this time, he said he wanted out. Several. If you hear the audios, and we will go over the audios at some point too, because I have 5 days left or something to kind of put everything that I want to talk about on the table before we resume court. But on the audios, you know, he's always saying, towards the end, he's like, I want out of this. I just want out of this. And you know what I mean? And I think he said he was going to file. And then this is what they were talking about on the stand. This is what. Remember, I don't know if you guys saw the deposition of his attorney, but she was the one that said, you know, we got the notice on the same day, or something like 5 o'clock on the day before, or something like that. If I remember her deposition correctly, and so this is what they're talking about. So this is part of it, and then I'm going to go ahead and open up the second photo. So let me open it up. The second photo. This is my little. Do you think that's cute? That's my little docket. That's my little docket for today. Okay, so here's the second portion of that, which I should have had it up. But this is the second portion of it. So it says I don't know what the other sentence said, but it says driving with Johnny to continue to make all. Oh wait, wait a minute, hold on. Let me make sure. No, this is the second part. Is this the second part of it? Yeah. Wait. Let's read this part of it though on the bottom, because I didn't read the bottom part of that. So it says, in addition, we're requesting on Amber's behalf of the following appropriate. I think I talked about this a little bit last night, but like it says, the appropriate pendente. I don't know how to say that. Light support, which I would believe probably is referring to alimony. Exclusive use of the possession of the black Range Rover, the vehicle she is currently. Okay, and then it's this one right here. And then we were just reading the second part of that. Okay, and then it says she's driving, and Johnny with Johnny to continue paying all payments for any encumbrances thereon, exclusive use and possession of the 849S South Broadway. So the penthouse, that's 1, 3, and 5. With Johnny to continue to pay mortgage, utility, associated with contributions towards her reasonable and necessary attorney's fees in the amount of $100,000 and $25,000 for forensic accounting costs to be paid to my firm by close of business on the 27th. So, like I said, his attorney said in the deposition that they got that almost at 5 o'clock, I believe, the day before, and that was. And so they had very little time, to respond to that. And so, so that's what she was talking about in the deposition. And then this says, further, I believe it would be beneficial for all if this case was assigned to a private retired judicial officer for all purposes. My proposed list of private retired judicial officers is as follows. Judge, Your Honor, Gretchen Taylor, Your Honor, Robert. So they already had judges picked out. They had 4 judges: Taylor, Schneider, and Johnson. 3. Taylor, Schneider, and Johnson. The fees of the judicial judicial officer can be paid with funds from the party's community estate. Kindly let me know at your earliest convenience if you and your client are agreeable to do so, as well as which judicial officers are acceptable. Upon hearing from you, I will have my assistant obtain rates and availabilities. Can we just take a minute? Okay. I don't even want to talk about that. Okay. I'm not going to say anything because okay. Anyway, so the next photo that I saw on Twitter was also this one. Now, this is the pledge form that they were talking about when the tax guy came on for his deposition. So if you guys didn't see that, then that's what this is talking about. So this is the $350,000 that was supposed to go over time. If you heard how that was supposed to be dispersed. So this is the pledge form that they were talking about. And again, this is not my post, but I saved the photo. So I will credit the Twitter account that I got this from in the description box because I don't want anybody coming for me. But this I saw on Twitter. And so this is like a layout of the $350,000. So August 2016, August 2017. So once a year, it was $350,000 a year, and it was annually. So they could have chose, annually, semi-annually, quarterly, monthly, from what I see on this photo. And then the second portion of this is that's something from Amber Heard. But where's did I not say the second portion of this? I might have. Wait. Anyway, there's a second portion of this. I feel bad, but there's a second portion of this. This. I guess maybe it is only one. Okay, I'm a terrible researcher. I'll get it. Be patient. It's only my second live stream, but she didn't sign it. Anyway, bottom line, she didn't sign it. So here it is on the bottom. I'm gonna blow the shit really big for you, and it is quite blurry. But that's what they're talking about. They're talking about that she didn't sign it. So this is what came up in that deposition is in terms of her commitment to do it. So that's something that I wanted to talk about. So that was another thing that I saw on Twitter. Now this right here, I believe, is also something that I don't know who this was from. I honestly don't. because I don't remember seeing the post. So my apologies, because I feel like I should know that as well. But I think this is her checking on the ACLU. I think this might have even been in reference to that form I was just telling you about. So it says, "Hi there, I hope you're doing well. I am so sorry for the delay in this matter. They were highly unusual circumstances, and I sincerely appreciate all of your patience and grace in helping facilitate through them. Anyway, I'm just emailing to let you know that it is indeed all right to cash Mr. Depp's check. Thank you so much for your patience, and thank you for keeping me updated as to the ACLU's progress with things. All my best, Amber Heard." So it sounds like this was in reference to the testimony of the tax guy or whatever, or whoever the spokesman person was for the ACLU, that was talking about communications between her and them, and the payments that they received on her behalf. One was from Elon Musk and one was from Johnny Depp. I believe there was, I don't remember. We'd have to look at that guy's deposition, but I remember him talking about, I believe there might have been 3 in total, but I just don't remember. I did see the trial from day one all the way till we broke, but at the same time, it's a lot. It's a lot. So, yeah. So this here is also relevant. So we're moving on to the third set of photos that I have obtained. This is actually talking about her on the stand, this episode that she describes, I believe, with her. This is one of the episodes she talked about in 2013, and that she claims is the first incident. So I'm going to read this because this is kind of how she described it in the written form of it. So we can look at that at another time, and I can bring it up again. So I'm just going to read this because I don't have that clip ready, but this was something I just saw on Twitter today, so I wanted to share that as well. So this says, "I remember the first time he hit me so clearly." So do you remember? Because she took this stand on Thursday, and then she finished, we broke on Friday, remember? And then we were going to have that day break, or that week break. So she started out, remember, just kind of saying, and we are going to go through that. I think I have to schedule out my week right. What I wanted to do before I get into this incident is that I wanted to kind of take the first initial clip of him describing when they met, and then I wanted to, look at her perception of the way they met and kind of compare those as well, just to kind of, because there's a lot of things going around about her, okay, and I understand that she has not been 100% truthful based on what we've seen or what we've heard or whatever, okay, because we haven't seen a lot to verify or to substantiate what she's saying. But I also want to say, in talking about this, that I don't really, I'm guilty of it myself, just because I feel like I should support it, but I really don't know how I feel about the interweb, the inter-Googles coming for her so hard. Do you know what I'm saying? Because I understand, that she's not telling the truth. I get it. But it's, for the interwebs or the internets or the inter-Googles or whatever to come for a person in such a tsunami type of way, it has to be pretty scary. And I understand, there's a lot of people that are going to say, well, then, she shouldn't be bending the truth, or she shouldn't, she should be more forthcoming, like Johnny Depp has, or whatever, because he's come and he's bore his soul, and he's thrown his career into, it's almost like, he's really put himself, he's thrown his own self under the bus. But for her to not expect this kind of backlash is surprising, because I'm sure her people said, hey, this is going to be bad. This is going to be really, really bad. And you have to be ready for this. If this is what you're deciding to go with, and this is how you want to tell your story, it's not going to be easy for you to go through, because, people are, we live in a culture now that everybody's a detective. Look at TikTok right now. they're having trouble because they've got so many videos about, about replaying, their whole carpet thing. And it's a lot. But anyway, I just thought I would say that because, I do believe that she is not telling the truth. I do believe she has mental issues. I really do. As much as I talk or like even using profanity and stuff when it comes to describing or talking about it. But at the same time, she's still a person also. But I don't know. It's just, I don't know. Let me know how you feel if you heard that part. But of course, language of horses, and hopefully we'll have some more people coming in to check this out. But anyway, so I saw this on Twitter. So let me go ahead and get to this. So I saw this on Twitter, and this is describing one of the events. This is supposed to be the first violent incident. So as you heard, what I heard before I read this, I just want to say this as well, really quick, is that I did hear one of the attorneys, I believe, when it comes to documentation, if I'm not correct, because I know I have this posted on Twitter as well. And anyone that knows like the nit and grit of this case is going to say, oh, this woman is just fucking everything up. She's not even saying anything right. But I did hear that she changed she added things or something, that she changed the year that these episodes were supposed to start happening. Like they originally started in 2013 and somehow she's retroed back to 2012. That's all I'm going to say. Because I am not a deep dive researcher on this. I'm just seeing things on Twitter and I'm sharing them through my stream because I find them to be interesting that I didn't know. I didn't see them either, So let's go ahead and get through this. So this is the first violent episode in 2013. I remember the first time he hit me so clearly, it changes your life forever. It was a little over a year into the relationship. It was cold. Let me try to be Amber for a second. It was so cold. I know that's bad. It was cold. So it might have been winter. Maybe it was Christmas. I don't remember. I don't recall. We were at Johnny's place in LA and we were sitting on the sofa. Couch. If you guys haven't heard that audio, I want couch. She sounds like my granddaughter. She sounds like she does that all the time. She does that all the time. Okay. But we have to, okay. But sidebar, she was like 20 fucking years old or some shit. She was super young. So I don't know if we want to give her that much or not. But anyway, it was cold. Oh my God. And we were sitting on the sofa. Okay. My understanding at that time was that he was sober and I didn't see him to do cocaine that evening. Did I say that right? My understanding at that time was that he was sober and I didn't see him do cocaine that evening. But he had a huge ass cookie jar of Coke, a literal jar. Let me look at the jury. A jar of Coke. But looking back now, I think he was starting to break his sobriety around this time. Now that I didn't recall, but now I recall, but then I forgot, but now I recall. I think he really was with his jar of Coke in the cookie jar. Okay. I should take acting. My brother was an actor. We were talking about one of his tattoos. Okay. Think about this. She just took the stand, okay? Fresh in your mind. I'm Amber. We were talking about one of his tattoos, which he had altered from Winona, his ex-partner, to say wino. I laughed at something he said, but he must have not meant it as a joke, and he hit me. He hit me. And I fell on the dirty carpet. Oh, damn, this carpet needs to be shampooed. What? Anyways, it used to be white. Now it's tan. I wonder why. Okay. And then I laughed at something he said, but he must not have meant it as a joke. And he hit me, and he hit me with an open hand across the face. Pow! I was stunned. I never had a man other than my dad hit me. Okay, can we read that again? Can we read that again? Because if you guys remember, go back and watch her testimony. Or y'all, we will go back and watch her fucking testimony. I wish I could do it tonight. So maybe we will dedicate one to Amber Heard. Johnny was so like, he was so like very slow and very descriptive and very like eccentric in the way that he described his story. So I feel like going back to hear his story, it really isn't necessary. Like, I mean, I think most of the population, honestly, or most of the globe, if they didn't watch anything, I bet you they watched his testimony. Okay. Because he was very slow and very, he was very descriptive and he was very articulate. He has an eccentric, abstract mind anyway. So like, but I honestly feel like if people didn't watch anything, I believe that they watched his testimony. So that's the reason why I don't really think we should go back and watch Johnny's. And I really think we should stick to Amber because she's who's on the stand and she's really the one in question. Because I mean, Johnny Depp has said a lot of things and he said, hey, I'm not perfect, but I didn't do this. And I think that's the point. I think that's his focal like point, and that's his focal thing of what he wants to he wants to get across, because he's honestly been very honest. I mean, I think he's been very honest. All right. Anyways, but I had never hit a man. I had never had a man hit me other than my dad. Did I say that right? I had never had a man other than my dad hit me. Now, she may have said on the stand, because this girl says so much, I can't even keep up, I don't recall, I then recall, I don't recall. Wait, let me get a piece of brownie. I don't recall. Anyway, I was staring. Oh, dude, did you see how bad she was glaring at him? Only a freaking psychopath does that. I'm serious, and I'm not joking. I'm not joking. Only a psychotic person would literally look at their particular target. We won't call him a victim. We'll call him a target, because she's because someone that actually wants to intimidate you, or wants to place fear in your eyes, will completely focus on you, right? Completely. So she's freaky, man. She's just freaky. She really is freaky. She's freaky. She's freaky. She's freaky. I'm telling you right now. All right. So obviously her dad knocked her around for whatever reason. I was staring at him in shock, finishing the laughter that had caused him to hit me, looking at him and trying to decipher what is going on. What is going on? I didn't know if he was I didn't know if this was some kind of joke. Oh my God. The way I was looking at him seemed to antagonize. Then he hit me a second time. Oh my God. He hit me a second. Pow! He hit me a second time. Boom. Okay. Let's do that again. Ooh, pow. Okay. He hit me a second time. We'll call him Ike for the moment. Anyway, although that was a true story, so I shouldn't really say that. Anyway, so I can't. I just can't. I can't. Because, and the only reason why I'm treating it this way, and the only reason why I'm trying to make it this kind of humor, is because she was photographed she was photographed. I mean, time and time again, back to back to back to back. So it's like, that's the reason why you have to bring humor into it, because it is a serious situation. It is a very, very serious accusation. It's very serious for Johnny Depp. It's not a joke whatsoever, but you have to think about like the evidence of her, of the things that just disprove what she's trying to prove is just, it's like, what? Anyway, so, all right. So she, pow, that's where we left off. All right. Oh yeah. Do you remember her on the stand? Okay. I know. I'm okay. Okay. This was day 2 when she was in the librarian outfit and she had something in her tissue. Just saying. All right. So he hit me a second time harder. Boom, boom. We got that part. I thought to myself, I can't believe this is happening to me. What is happening right now? Did he just hit me again? I was still sitting next to him, looking at him. Johnny. That's like a replay of Johnny says, Aquaman. That's why I said it like that. Okay. So yeah, that would have been me too. That would have been me too in the chair. And he hit me, bam, like this. Can I demonstrate? And then he hit me again, pow. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, oh shit. Anyway, whatever. All right. Then she said, I can't believe this is happening to me. Oh my God, what's happening? All right. I was still sitting next to him, looking at him. He was asking me, are you fucking laughing? You think this is funny, bitch? Should I find another word for that? I don't know. Is YouTube that like serious? I don't know. We'll find out because I just started streaming. If I can't stream again, we'll find out. I didn't know what to say. Oh my God. He tried to provoke an answer for me saying, hey. Oh shit. Okay, I didn't know what to say, and it was as if my what? I didn't know what to say, and it was if my silence provoked him even further. Okay. Because he hit me again, even harder. Pow, pow, pow. Boom, boom, boom. Is there a photographer around? Did you get that? No, just kidding. Pow, pow, pow. All right. Oh my God. Hey. Okay. I didn't know what to say. Okay. All right. Where'd we leave off? Hold on. I could never be hired as an actress because I can't remember a damn thing. It felt like my eye popped out. It felt like my eye popped. My eye popped out. Johnny wears a lot of rings. Okay, can we just talk about this shit? Okay, Johnny is like a full-fledged gangster. Like, you know what I mean? He has shit all over him. Now, do you honestly think if he clocked her the way she is? And then on top of that, she's saying he hit me. Then she says he hit me with an open hand or whatever. Which, if someone clocks you, you're going to have some kind of a red mark or fingers even. You know, I mean, if you've ever been slapped or whatever, then you know what I'm saying? Like, especially if you're very sensitive, you know, like if you're walking around in your house and you just happen to bump something, or even if you scratch yourself, you know, or something like that. So, and Johnny's he's the Mad Hatter. You know what I'm saying? Like he has some pretty serious jewelry on, some pretty like armor, some pretty heavy armor on. My eye popped out. I wish, you know what I should have had is a plastic eye. A plastic eye to put over my eye. I should have read this in advance. I'm telling you, I would be a horrible auditioner. Anyway, Johnny wears a lot of rings, one on every finger. Okay. I'm so sure. Oh my God, I'm thinking of Valley Girl because it's my favorite movie, and I can't remember right now. Like all the good stuff is escaping me. He's a G. Oh my God, I can't remember. I don't know. I know Nick Cage's movie Valley Girl is one of my favorite videos ever. Oh no. This third, he knocked me off balance and I fell on the floor. Okay, is this it? Can we stop now? I don't. Is there another piece of this? Oh no. I think that's it. I think once somebody was posting that on TikTok and that's it. I think that's quite a performance of my own. Anyway. So, this is, I think, yet another one. And this is referring to the ping pong table. If you guys saw that part of it when she was talking about the ping pong table, and there was a photo actually submitted. I wish I had the photo. I don't. Whoever posted this on Twitter, I don't think they had the picture of the photo, the picture of the ping pong table, because that would have been really good if they had that. Anyway, so let's go ahead and move on to incident number 2. That night, Johnny shoved me into a ping pong table that collapsed underneath me. Johnny threw bottles through the window panels of a glass door, breaking 2 panes and leaving glass everywhere. Johnny then grabbed me, gripping my nightgown. Who wears a nightgown at 20 years old? A nightgown? And then on top of that, she tried to say that this was the nightgown that Dr. Kipper gave her as a wedding present. The fuck? I mean, what is happening? Like, who are these people and like, where did they come from? Anyway, he tore my nightgown off. And at some point, I was naked and barefoot, covered in alcohol and glass. Johnny grabbed me by my hair. Oh my God. And choked me against the refrigerator. I had to read it. Oh shit. I tried to stand myself up. Oh my God. Round 1. I have a soundbite for that. Hey, you know what? I should play that. I meant to grab that from Mortal Kombat, because me and my brother did a movie review of Mortal Kombat. Oh my God. I can't even get through this shit. The refrigerator, the kitchen. Okay. All right. Maybe she got, I don't know, a piece of cheese in between, maybe some tea or something, a pretzel. I don't know. I tried to stand myself up, and I was sliding around as the glass strewn floor and countertop. I've never even heard that word before. She talks in like weird language. Johnny threw me away from him, and I tried to run away as Johnny continued. I have 2 songs that come into my mind. Who is Johnny? Do you remember that? Was that from like Short Circuit? Are you from my era? Was that from Short Circuit? Isn't there another old time song with Johnny in it? I don't know. Whatever. Oh, Johnny, are you queer? Remember that? Remember that from Valley Girl? Do you remember that? Oh my God, I love that movie. I love that movie. Anyway, all right, where were we? We were thrown around. Our feet were cut. I don't know. Johnny threw. Wait. Let's see. Johnny threw me away. Wait, what? Johnny threw me away from him, and I tried to run away as Johnny continued to throw objects and alcohol at me. In one of the most horrific and scariest moments of this 3-day ordeal, as she was getting photographed the next fucking day, Johnny grabbed me by the neck and collarbone and slammed me up against the countertop. If I had a countertop, I would like do a whole thing for you. But I don't have a countertop. I only have a desk. Next time I'm going to have to completely act this out for y'all. Oh my goodness. All right. What else happened? I don't know. I struggled to stand up as he strangled. But my arms and feet kept slipping and sliding on the spilled alcohol as they were dragged against the broken glass on the countertop and floor, which repeatedly slashed my feet. They slashed my feet. Why do I keep losing my place? Let's see. I don't remember where I was now. See, this is all the more reason to not even finish this. Where am I? Oh, wait. Repeatedly slashed my feet and arms. Scared for my life, I told Johnny, "You're hurting me. You're cutting me." Johnny ignored me, continuing to hit me with the back of one closed hand. What? The back of one closed hand? And slamming a hard plastic phone against the wall with his other... What? with his other until it smashed into smithereens. What? While he was smashing the phone, Johnny severely injured his finger, cutting off the tip. Okay, if you were with me yesterday, then you know from the audio that she said, did I hurt him? I feel, what'd she say? I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. So all this bullshit right here is just, I don't even know where she got this shit from. I have no idea. I don't believe this at all. I'm just going to say this. This is also just a reported statement. I believe that they had to put on a document. So this is, I don't believe any of this. But since I started it, I guess I'll finish it. While he was smashing the phone, cut off the tip of his finger. I did not throw I did not throw a vodka bottle or any other kind of bottle at Johnny, nor did I cause the injury of his finger. Once I was able to get away, I barricaded myself in the upstairs bedroom and tried to go to sleep. This is where my son was talking about. If you saw my live stream yesterday, then you heard my son say that first. Okay, and then on top of that, somewhere. I don't think that's mentioned in this, because this was just one document I think someone posted. But remember how she said I went to sleep and then I got up and made him coffee? What the fuck? Anyway, so there's that document. It took me forever. Hope you enjoyed my performance. Thank you very much. Wait a minute. Let me. Ta-da! Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. That took me forever. Anyway, so that's that. So let's go back over here. All right, so there's everything for Amber Heard. Took me an hour to tell you that, but I don't care, because I did warn you last night that all of my live streams will be 3 to 4 hours. So hopefully someone will come here and watch me. And thank you so much, Language of Horses, for being here. Please make sure you like the video. Hopefully someone will find me and we'll have some more viewers so we can chat. But I appreciate you being here very, very much. I do remember you're 47. I do remember that. So let me know what your favorite movie was growing up. I remember seeing Friday the 13th in the theater, and I remember seeing Breakfast Club in the theater, and I remember Weird Science. I remember seeing that in the theater. I was in high school when it was like 1985, 86. And I think because Madonna, remember, just came out with her single too in 1994, I believe. So, all right. Let's get on with the show. All right, so that was everything for Amber Heard. So, yeah, anyway, she's a lot. She's just a lot. All right, so what I did last night before I decided to do this is I wanted to figure out what I wanted to talk about. So I went on and I looked at, we're going to start with Dr. Curry, because Dr. Curry, I'm going to put my face on the bottom here. Now this is Dr. Curry's website. And I just kind of wanted to see, what her website looked like versus what Dr. Hughes's website looked like. And I just kind of wanted to see the difference between the two of them. I do know that Dr. Hughes is board certified, I believe, and Dr. Curry is not, which I don't really know how important that is, honestly. I really don't know. I know it's nice to go on the board of something to look at someone's credentials, because I used to do background searches for people, and a lot of times when there were physicians and pharmacists and things like that trying to get a job, we would have to go and research their credentials, especially some people that didn't live in the country and that moved to America. And so that was very interesting to see that. But this is her, it says Curry Psychology Group. She does provide online therapy. And she does have specialties here, which I'm going to go ahead and click on that. And she specializes in couples therapy, child and adolescent therapy, neuropsychological and academic testing, forensic psychology, expert testimony, military psychology, meditation and breath work, animal assisted therapy, and online therapy, which I think we said already. Her areas of treatment are anxiety. So this would be a specialty. So this is something that I find very interesting because I didn't learn this until later in my life, because I've been going to therapy my whole life. Well, actually not my whole life, but like I needed it when I was a teenager, but I didn't have a family that kind of believed in that. So I didn't really discover therapy until after I had my second child, and I had a lot of issues. I had postpartum, and I had more anxiety, I think, than depression. So it was kind of hard to figure out what was going on with me. But I know a lot of things were kind of morphed for me after I had my child, or the postpartum part of that. And so I learned later in my life, which was just recently, after I was 40, that when you're looking for a therapist, that you should really find a therapist that specializes in whatever it is that you're trying to get help for. I do believe that is the best way to, to kind of look for a therapist. That means, like, for instance, in my case, when I first started seeking out therapy, I was kind of naive. I didn't, or ignorant maybe. I didn't know what I was needing to look for, but because I was a caregiver and I didn't understand, what exactly. I just thought, oh, I need a therapist. But I think it was really important at the time for someone to point out to me that it was really important for me to find a grief and loss therapist, because my dad was sick and it was a fatal illness. It was Alzheimer's. So on top of being exhausted as a caregiver, and then, being sleep deprived a lot, and having that exhaustion, and having my own anxieties and my own levels of challenge, and then I was in a relationship that I wasn't happy in, and all that at the same time. I feel like it was very important for me to know. I mean, I wish I would have known, but it was very important for me to know at that time that I should have been seeking out a therapist with the specialty of what I was suffering from. So that is something, because grief and loss, is really the answer when it comes to something like that, because if you have a family member that's ill, eventually they're going to, they're going to pass away from it, and you have to prepare yourself. And when you're in it and you're actually caring for someone that's ill, you know what I mean? It's kind of good to kind of talk about. And then on top of that, when you're, because I feel like you don't really consciously digest that your body is actually taking a hit, and it's very exhausted and sleep deprived, and you're not thinking straight, and you're not sleeping right, and you're not eating right, and all that kind of stuff. So I feel like, it's good to know the specialty that you're needing, the specialty in a therapist. So I highly recommend that when you're seeking out someone to assist you when it comes to mental health, make sure that you are seeking a therapist that actually specializes in what you're suffering from. So if it's anxiety, if it's panic, if it's panic attacks, if it's depression, if it's a series of things, that's one thing. But the one thing that you need to ask yourself is, what is it that you're suffering from the most? So are you more anxious than more depressed, or that kind of thing? So keep that in mind. But anyway, she's got anxiety, ADHD, ADD, autism, child behavior issues, chronic illness, complex conditions, creative performance, dating and love, depression, development delays, divorce and breakups, elite athletic performance, not sure what that is, grief and loss, LGBTQIPK plus issues. I'm sorry, I didn't realize it was that extended at this point. Life coaching and self-improvement, life transitions, loneliness, men's issues, obsessive compulsive OCD, parenting skills, postpartum, relationship issues, self-esteem, sports performance, trauma and PTSD, and stress management, women's issues. So her website was very interesting anyway to see. And if you want to go ahead and read a little bit about her, it will give you some more information on her. Usually they have a bio in here. It does show all the people that work with her, which I think is interesting. And she's beautiful. She's absolutely gorgeous. But look at they're all they look similar, huh? Look at Shannon Curry. Do these guys not look like they're twins? Do you see this? Look at that. They could be twins. Oh my gosh. She's gorgeous. She's really gorgeous. These are all the people that work at her office, which I think are, this is really interesting to see. I think this matters to the general public. I don't know how many people have talked about this or seen this. So hopefully someone on Twitter is watching this as well. But yeah, so I think it's just really interesting to kind of glance over, these two different forensic psychologists. Now, again, you have to make your own, determination of who it is that you think is the most qualified, I guess. It's kind of a public opinion type of thing, but I wanted to show you her website. Okay. So we will go into her a very brief portion of her intro, and then we will go into her diagnosis for Amber, and then we're going to cover Dr. Hughes' website, and then we're going to cover those two areas for Dr. Hughes in a second. But before we do that, I want to go ahead and play this clip that I talked about from Richard Grannon. So I'm going to go ahead and put this full screen for a sec. Actually, I'll just let you watch it, because you should be able to have a really good vision of this. So let's go ahead and listen to what Richard Grannon says, and we'll see what he says. And in the meantime, I'm actually going to turn my camera off for a second so that I can while you're watching that, I'm trying to think of how I can do this. I was going to try to find that other clip for you, but we'll just go ahead and watch this. So my apologies, you guys. I have to learn how to toggle with doing this. So let's go ahead and.
Cis borderlines and histrionics all play this game. The appearance of being a victim.
Hold on. Wait. I wanted to hear.
Psychopaths, narcissists, borderlines, and histrionics all play this game. The appearance of being a victim, the appearance of being frail and fragile. How would you recognize that? Okay, here's a way of recognizing it. Remember at all times that what you are dealing with is the performance to elicit a response from you. Take one person, take what I just said, put them together. Think of 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 examples where they behaved in a certain way that elicited a response from you that caused you to serve them, that caused you to give your stuff, your time, your attention, your money, your things, your emotion, your sex to them in a way that you wouldn't have done if they hadn't asked you. They implied it. They made faces, they sighed, or they did weird stuff with their meta communication, their body language to get you to do what they wanted you to do, which is to serve them in some way.
Okay, so that was that. So that's kind of like just to give you an idea of, it makes sense too. It makes sense. It totally makes sense. So I'll play it one more time just so you can really hear what he's saying, because I think sometimes when you hear something the first time, it doesn't really sink in. So let's go ahead and just listen to it one more time.
Psychopaths, narcissists, borderlines, and histrionics all play this game. The appearance of being a victim, the appearance of being frail and fragile. How would you recognize that? Okay, here's a way of recognizing it. Remember at all times that what you are dealing with is a performance to elicit a response from you. Take one person, take what I just said, put them together. Think of 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 examples where they behaved in a certain way that elicited a response from you that caused you to serve them, that caused you to give your stuff, your time, your attention, your money, your things, your emotion, your sex to them in a way that you wouldn't have done if they hadn't asked you. They implied it. They made faces, they sighed, or they did weird stuff with their meta communication, their body language to get you to do what they wanted you to do, which is to serve them in some way.
I think that's very interesting, and it's very telling. So I just really wanted to emphasize that. I did post this on Twitter as well, and I just think it's really, really important. I think a lot of people are listening to these psychologists, but they don't really understand how people that suffer from this particular disorder operate. And I think that they're such strong personalities that they prey on people that are empathic. They prey on people that are more passive than they are, so that they can be this towering entity that's constantly relentless and never gives up and is just full of this energy, while this person that's a normal, healthy-minded person that may even be a little bit too caring, a little bit too generous, a little bit too putting others' needs before theirs. And also, I think people like Johnny Depp, and there's several people like this in the culture that, or in humankind, that feel others' feelings. That you feel what someone else is feeling. And so I think there's a lot of people that are very catering and pleasing, and and just are generous by nature. And I think there are a lot of people as well in this world that don't really have a motive with that. I mean, I think sometimes when you meet people that, maybe you meet someone and they're extra nice or they're extra generous, and someone's like, well, what's the catch? Why are you being so nice? And I think, I just think sometimes there are people in this world that don't want anything back. You know what I mean? Now I understand that Johnny Depp is in a different completely category than, because of his money and because of what, the power that he has with what he's earned. But, I mean, he just had a very long history doing what he does for a living and having several partners that have verified his personality. So it's very difficult for me to just see him as this maniac she's like saying he is. Now, I'm not saying that with his substance abuse issues and the things that he carries are not something that, that have an effect on him. That's not what I'm saying. But at the same time, it's hard for me as an individual, as a viewer, and as someone that's been watching, that grew up with him as well, and I've seen his work, and he's very, he's been a very private person as well, and never really been in the public eye. But we did talk about the Viper Room issue yesterday, with River Phoenix passing away, and and all that. But I mean, even in those times, because there is a really good, if you grew up in the 80s like me, which I think you did, right? There is a really good documentary, which is Punky Brewster. Do you remember Punky Brewster? Well, she has a documentary on Hulu, and I don't know what the name of it is, but look up Google Punky Brewster documentary on Hulu or whatever, because it's all in the way you search on Google. But look that up and you'll see it. And if you have Hulu or you have the means to subscribe to Hulu, you really should see it, because it really does kind of define that time period of the way that they kind of socialized, the way Hollywood was at that time with the models and everything else. So I just thought this was really important to point out, and I just really thought that I would share that also. So there is, I don't think there's any other. He goes over females. I saw a clip yesterday. Oh, maybe this one. I did watch this. I don't know. I guess we could watch this one because it's very, very short. I guess we'll watch this one as well, and then we'll move on. But I did see this one last night too and thought it was very, very interesting. So we'll just play this last one, and then we'll move on. Sorry, right around 5 o'clock it gets, or between 5 and 8. My.
How many of you been in a abusive relationship? How many of you would say you think that's what a cluster B person?
Remember, they did mention cluster B.
The impression that it's too good to be true. Yeah. This is one of the things you really watch out for. The cluster B, female or male, will scan the target first. They scan you for your values, they scan you for your beliefs, they scan you for your lifestyle, and then they reflect back exactly what you want to hit. So if I hear you saying, this girl is perfect for me, I'm going to be going to shut up. Just slow down, let's have a little chat. If it moves too quickly, if it's a whirlwind romance, if it's too good to be true, it's probably fake. It's probably not right. If your emotions are spiking, listen, emotional dysregulation is not just anxiety and depression, it's euphoria. High levels of loss.
Remember how she said he was too. He said the same thing though. He said she was too good to be true. It was like a dream.
Everything that goes up comes down. You kind of want to be more in the center. On a day-to-day basis, in terms of your emotional regulation, you want to be in the center.
You don't want to be raging out. You don't want to be really, really depressed. You don't want to be super anxious, but nor do you want to be through the roof, like endorphin rushes, euphoric. If you're euphoric one day and depressed the next, what do they call that? Sorry? Yeah, manic depressive, bipolar. Manic depressive. It's not good. You don't want to be in that place, you want to be steady. When you see somebody as well, as we're talking about women, what male narcissists and psychopaths will do is flaunt that which they think is going to be most attractive to the opposite sex. Could be money, could be power, could be status. What's their power over us? There is a definition within the custody spectrum. It's not really like wide accepted, not really that widely used for histrionic personality.
This is why I played this.
Borderline and psychopathy. And it's a very infantile, bratish, and hypersexualized way of conducting themselves. Usually it's women who get that diagnosis. So if you have a grown woman who's talking and acting like a little girl and being very, very sexual in everything that she does and showing it a lot, you could be looking at histrionic to borderline. Be careful with that. Why? It's not, I don't think that is actually a case for biological preference, because I've seen guys do that, like guys who don't have money but they're good looking, they'll use that strategy. I think that's just a strategy. It's about talent. It's only about talent. Steve mentioned this in his talk. You've got to look at the power dynamic. When you're looking at relationships and you're looking at love, if you want to evade an active relationship, look at the power dynamic. Are you two equals?
There you go.
Is she kind of like this? Are you really grateful to be with her? The best thing you said.
She said that. He didn't say that.
You don't want to be in that situation. It's horizontal. Equal means equal. Equal means equal. So you don't want to find yourself in a situation where the power dynamic is messed up. The other thing to look at, very simply, is how to make you feel. I get people saying to me all the time, should I leave my boyfriend? Should I leave my girlfriend? And then they want to tell me a story. They'll be like, oh, you'll never guess what she did. Here's one for you. You'll never. And I'm like, I have fucking heard every fucking story. Every fucking story. I've heard them all. But you won't believe what this guy did. And I'm like, yeah, go on, tell me. I don't care about the story. Not really. Somebody came to me at the convention and said, hey, you know, this is what's happened to me. I want to get your opinion on what you think she is. And all I said is, I'm looking at you. And I can tell by the effect on you what you're dealing with. She's not here. I'm not going to give it like, I'm a witch doctor. I'm not going to diagnose it by, reading a tarot cards or something. I can look at the human being in front of me and the effect of the relationship on him or her. And if it's deleterious, if this person's personality has been fractured and their confidence is wounded, when I was in Malaysia, it's a long story, I won't get into it, but I learned a concept, a mystical concept there called semangat. So the Malay word semangat, it means your will to thrive and to love and to live life. And some of us in these abusive relationships, semangat gets damaged. So your will to life, your will to thrive actually breaks. This is not good. It's difficult to fix. It takes time to fix it. So look at how interacting with that person makes you feel. If it makes you feel like shit, it's probably not good for you. If it makes you feel really, really super excited and through the roof, it's probably not going to be that good for you in the long run. Be realistic. You're an adult. If you're in a long-term relationship and you're talking love or marriage, you don't want it to be a roller coaster. Like, how are you going to be 30 years roller coaster? You're fucking crazy. So look for something that is a little bit more regulated, a little bit more dependable, and a little bit more concept, that we have now. And I think it's because of living in the age of hyperstimulation. Like this idea that if it's boring even for a minute, there must be something wrong with it. When if you like to get bored? I fucking love being bored. I just moved to a house in Ibiza and people are like, oh, Ibiza's a party place. I'm like, I'm in the fucking hell.
I don't get bored. I just don't get bored.
And the wind in the trees.
Ever. I always find something to do. So
by being bored, you might all be stuck in a little bit of an addictive cycle of hyperstimulation.
I don't have a racing mind though. I don't either. So
Don't watch TV, read a book.
interesting.
What happens?
Come on, Richie, wrap it up.
There might be another problem there you need to deal with. Most of these personality sort of people know how to keep the show going. They can keep you stimulated.
Yeah, she was pretty expressive on that stand, right?
They have more energy and are better at the shift as well. A final point on evasion is, because I'm talking to men about women, do not make the mistake of thinking.
Okay, good. So I just wanted to show you that because I think it's really important to hear what he said about that, because he just kind of talks about how much energy, someone like that can have. I mean, I don't know if you guys remember how many times he said that she was exhausting. She exhausted him. You know what I mean? Like everybody that was in that situation, even watching the trial, is like, okay, sorry, I did this yesterday. I need to put this on like me. So I'll put that on me for a second. But if you guys remember, like in the trial, they said almost every witness up there that was talking about every episode and incident with her was so exhausting. Everybody said it. His sister said it. His bodyguard said it. I mean, everyone that was in that scenario that had to be like, like whatever it is that they were experiencing with her in it was exhausting. And I mean, just for us to hear that small clip yesterday, remember, of the audios of the Australia incident, I mean, she's exhausting. And if you've ever been in one of those types of relationships where the person just doesn't uncle, they don't ever uncle, that is exhausting. So I just thought that would be, kind of important to mention when we talk about like Amber Heard, and like that's the only reason. A lot of people that watch live streams don't like to watch somebody watching something else, but that's what this channel is going to be about: commentary and reaction, and kind of sharing what I'm learning and what I've come across that I think is interesting. And I think this is really, really, I think this is very much relevant to the case because, and I understand that Dr. Curry, we're going to watch her in just a second, but you know what I mean? Like I wanted you to hear someone that I discovered outside of these two forensic psychologists, so that you can kind of know that there are other people that are kind of describing this type of personality disorder that she has. What he's describing is more relevant to what we've seen in her rather than the PTSD. Now, I understand that there are a lot of disorders that mask each other, or that that kind of overlap each other, because there's so many disorders in the DSM-5 that have similar symptoms and similar similar they just consist of similarities, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So I mean, I know it's similar, but if you're familiar with what the DSM-5 is, and if you've ever looked it up online, because you can see the DSM-5 and you can actually look and see what they see. It's very possible to do that. Just look up the diagnostic statistic manual of disorders, or whatever it is, mental disorders, I believe it is. But you can see how they can diagnose you. So, and the only reason why I'm very familiar with PTSD is because I had to do a paper. I was going to college when my dad was sick. I decided to go to school, and I did a paper on PTSD. And also, my ex is military. So PTSD is something I think a lot of people in general are familiar with, and that probably knows someone that knows someone, or someone in their actually community of family or friends or whatever has PTSD. So if you've ever witnessed someone with PTSD versus someone that has something like this, then you can definitely see the differences. Because I understand there's similarities, but there's also differences, and there's a lot of similarities as well with bipolar. But it's just one of those things where I feel like it's so commonly diagnosed without actually diving into the person and getting more information from them and actually witnessing their behavior. And I think with Amber Heard, there's just been so much of her behavior on display, that I think that's why a lot of people do believe that she demonstrates a lot of the borderline personality disorder. There's also another video that I saw as well, but I won't bring it up today, but I will talk about this again because I think it's really important for you guys to keep that in your mind, because when she goes back on the stand, the more that you learn before you see her testimony, the rest of it, or even if you go back and watch the 2 days she was on the stand, you can very much see how that's relevant. So let me go ahead and go back to my screen, but I'm going to go ahead and take Richard off. So now we're going to move to Dr. Curry. So we saw her, and I am stretching this out because I intended on being online for quite some time tonight, pretty much every night. You know, I left a slot open from, I originally left the slot open from 4 to 8, but now it's going to be from 5 to 9. So just saying, you know, but because you guys, we have like 3 weeks of court stuff to go over. So it's hard to just kind of cram it into, you know, a short live stream. You can't do that. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and take Richard off, and I'm going to go back to Dr. Curry now, because I do have her stuff up. So let me go ahead and put this back up. So, and this was just I was looking for something that had borderline personality disorder just on it. And this is from, it's called skylandtrail.org. I don't know where this came from, but basically this is all talking about BPD symptoms as well, which is fear of abandonment, which you'll hear her talk about, like she said when she was on the stand. But let's go ahead and start talking about Dr. Curry. So this way you can kind of have a refresher on her, because it was quite a while when she was on the stand. But let's go ahead and hear hers, and then we'll hear her diagnosis, and then we'll jump over to Dr. Hughes. Is this not, wait a minute, where's her? I thought this was, she was being sworn in. I guess this isn't, where is Dr. Curry? I thought I had, is this her? Or is this Dr. Oh, this is Dr. Hughes, huh? I was looking for her credentials. That's the reason why I wanted to listen to this. I thought it's very hard now. I mean, it's very hard to find when she was sworn in. It's very difficult to find that intro of her talking about like what her credentials were. But I guess we'll just go ahead and listen to this. That's not what I was looking for, but
So the self-report would be things that Mr. indicated to me specifically. So there were a couple of characteristics that she noted in her self-report that were consistent with these personality disorders. The first was actually my own deeper observations that were based on her self-report. So one of the hallmark characteristics of histrionic personality disorder is sort of a overly dramatic presentation. We call this speech. So it tends to be very flowery, using large descriptive words like magical, wonderful, and it can go on for quite some time, and yet it really lacks any substance. So at the end, you're left wondering what was just said or what answers the actual question. So that occurred a number of times, and it also represented the kind of
okay. Okay.
So
I'll see you in a bit. Bye.
And then she becomes very animated or very sad. And when people are displaying these emotions with personality disorder, there's a certain shallowness to it. People who are observing them will feel like it's going to play acting. And you might not be able to put their finger on it. But part of it is because of the rapidness with which a person can switch emotions, and also the lack of substance. They don't really refer to I feel this way. They might describe emotions, they might represent, but very rarely, and I misheard it not say I feel vulnerable. She never really understood a vulnerable feeling of her own. Then substance.
I find that very interesting. I just find this very interesting.
Oh, okay. Okay, so psychological tests, I also
So I'm gonna stop that there because I feel like that's just the test. I don't feel like we really need to hear that. I don't know what this is. Let's see what this one is. This seems like the same thing.
I was contacted by Ms. Camille.
Oh, this is the muffins. The muffins.
Ms. Vasquez called me and indicated that she might be interested in having legal team so that I could discuss my expertise and possibly provide my opinion in that.
Interesting.
So initially, my role that I was to review the case materials and provide my opinions regarding anything that I noticed that was consistent with the psychological science that exists today on partner violence in Mr. Declan's relationship. So there are multitude of different definitions depending on the source or the state, but essentially intimate partner violence is physical, psychological, and it's from one partner to another.
I think this is really interesting because to hear her explanation of it and then to compare it to Dr. Hughes just to see if they're the same, I think that's kind of.
So I was retained.
I needed a refresher, y'all. I needed a refresher.
And then just fairly done documents.
I saw this video earlier. Was it yesterday or this morning? About how Dr. Hughes has not been a very good witness in other cases because she doesn't familiarize herself with the case or something. So I was like, eek.
No. So I reviewed quite a few documents.
Let's see. Oh, let's do this one. Let's listen to this one about like her, how she deciphered how she did not have PTSD.
Ms. Hurd did not have PTSD, and there were also pre-medications that she was supposed to exaggerate symptoms of PTSD when asked about them.
Okay.
So one of the strengths
We need these refreshers, y'all. We need these refreshers.
the important thing about
We need them.
evaluation and forensics is to make sure that the person is responding accurately. And this test does that by not just asking people whether they have a symptom, but asking follow-up questions that draw out very detailed accounts of every single symptom of PTSD. And when you're really familiar with this disorder, which you need to be able to administer this test, there are nuances in the way the person will describe their symptoms that have been shown repeatedly to indicate exaggeration or faking. There are also indications when somebody is clearly getting exaggerated.
Boom. I really believe that. I honestly believe that. I believe this.
So there are 20 kind of core symptoms that somebody can manifest with PTSD. You don't have to have all of them. Ms. Hurd initially said that she had, in the first question,
I think this is important to remember, to keep refreshed in your mind.
She initially said, yes, I have that, to 19 to 20 symptoms. That's not typical even of somebody with the most disabling form of PTSD. We eventually sort of dial it down. She has 3 remaining symptoms. And having symptoms of any disorder is common for all of us. Some of us struggle with sleep. Some of us get anxious. It's could be several different sources. It could just be that you have this struggle in your life. But she had 3 specific symptoms that I scored as present. Off the top of my head, I might miss one, but one was sleep disturbance. So she reported that she has frequent nightmares. Another one was that she said that she tends to have a startle response. So she gets
What? A startle response? That's like when she came off the stand and she was like, she was afraid of Johnny Depp. Remember that? Boom. Timestamp that. Timestamp that, y'all. Somebody needs to make a TikTok of this. That's why people said she acted like she had she was startled. Boom.
So I know that would be like a very accurate account where she stays in a state of paper or a hard time calming down. It's surprised. Yes.
Her and her notes, okay? Her and her notes.
That she has recurrent nightmares and that she feels as though she's being held down.
What is she writing? Like, what is she writing?
Even though that could be it is fair to say, but I still scored it as present. And in her initial treatment with Dr. Bonnie Jacobs, which I believe started before she began dating Mr. Depp, she had indicated to Dr. Jacobs, according to Dr. Jacobs' notes, that she was having repetitive nightmares back then and that they were related to her childhood trauma. And so that came up several times in the notes Dr. Jacobs had mentioned that. Is essentially taking what's that.
We're revisiting this to compare this with Dr. Hughes. That was my agenda tonight, you guys. Keep that in mind. So we were going to watch this because I don't remember any of this. I mean, I remember it vaguely, but I don't remember it all the way.
We kept by because it requires them to describe in detail how they experience the symptoms, where it shows up, what it looks like, what sort of examples they can give you, how many times it's happened in the last couple weeks, how many times it's happened in the last month. By the end of each symptom, you've gotten a very good picture of a couple things. One, there's a need the definition of the symptom.
Yep.
You're getting it right. Is it actually the symptom or is it confusing us with something else? Number 2, are they giving very vague accounts? Are they giving you kind of a stereotype idea of what the symptom is based on media or movies or something that actually is completely different?
Did you? Okay, let's just stop that right there.
Or are
that it's okay, you guys. Let's talk about that for a second. Oops, let's talk about that. So, what she just described. I mean, if you go back, it's so funny too that she like revisiting this. It's really funny about revisiting this because there's there's been so much in Johnny Depp's trial that it's like it's really hard to remember everything each psychologist said to make your determination of who you feel is more accurate or whatever. You know what I mean? And it's very interesting that she said that because all of a sudden, it's like she laid the floor. It's okay. This is so weird. It's just so weird because it's like she heard Dr. Curry talk first, and then she took the stand after that. So it's very interesting how all of a sudden all these videos are floating around and circulating these quotes from movies and all this stuff. Like, don't you guys find that very, very interesting? I'm telling you, because I mean, yeah, we're watching another video through my stream, But if you were to just take me out of this whole scenario and ask me, even watching the trial every single day, I don't remember like what she's either one of these guys. I mean, I remember her saying that she did diagnose Amber Heard with borderline personality disorder histrionic. I did agree with that. I just agreed with it just based on what we heard in the trial. And I'm glad that I played Richard Granite's clips in this because I can't wait to go over the interview with Sam. And that's going to be a long live stream because I want to talk about that because I've been talking about it for years. And it never even conceived in my mind that I could do a live stream and like listen to it and talk about it. And then, kind of respond to parts of it as we're listening to it. But I just find this very interesting. I find this very, very interesting to hear her talk about this and then how it played out when she took the stand. Because now all of a sudden, everything that Dr. Curry is saying just makes so much more sense. I don't know if you guys feel the same, but for me, it's all kind of falling into place. And I know people have been saying that like since she took the stand, but at the same time, and a lot of people that are more invested in this than any of us, anyone else, I guess, that have been retrieving these documents and looking up, having all these audio, listen to the audios in their completion and the whole thing. I did try to listen to as many audios as I can, and I'm going to try to fit that into one of my live streams this week. And, I'm just kind of sharing this out loud because I just think that there's just so much of this case. And there are a lot of people, condensing these down and like trying to make their live stream interesting enough so that it's not just replaying videos. But to me, I feel like it's very important to go over the testimony of some of these people again because the jury is not in deliberation. And as many outlets that are mainstream media that are putting out articles that are saying, I mean, I got wind of like some information that there was an article that the jury's split at this point. How can anybody know that? They can't know that. I mean, they've just started with Amber Heard's case. So how can they know where the jury stands? Nobody knows that. Honestly, nobody knows. All they can do is predict, or I mean, I'm sorry, not predict, but like, I don't know, like, I don't know. What's the word I'm trying to think of? Like, all they can do is try to the word I'm trying to think of. Anyway, we don't know what they're thinking. That's my point. We don't know where they are in their thinking process. We just don't know. We don't know. And with this week lingering the way it is, it's like, everybody's got a lot of time to revisit all this stuff. And it's a lot. I mean, it's a lot. So I think I think this is very important for us to revisit these little areas of both psychologists because Johnny Depp's case now has rested, right? And now it's time to kind of let Amber Heard, continue to tell her side or whatever. But I think it's really important to revisit Johnny's case because it was such a long process and it was 3 weeks or whatever, of listening to all this testimony. And it's like, if you didn't watch it every single day, even if you did watch it every single day, it's like having an abundance of information. Like if you're training for a job and you have all this information, it's all overwhelming. And, you haven't even started the job yet. And there's all this stuff that you got to remember. I mean, it's the same thing, right? So it's like, I just think that it's super, super interesting to be going over this and like kind of revisiting this and stuff like that. So anyway, so let's go back to her and I'll let her finish a little bit of this. How long is this video? Oh, it was only 10 minutes. So I'm gonna go ahead and let her finish out and then we'll move on to Dr. Hughes's website and look at her website and then listen to her thoughts and opinions. I don't know. Did I not play her diagnosis? I need to look up her diagnosis because I don't think I played it, but I'll go ahead and look at it. So let me go ahead and finish this and I'll find it while we're watching this.
A very genuine, heartfelt, sometimes minimizing, but it's ticking all the boxes. The manner in which they're describing it, the actual very specific, very nuanced symbolic ways they're describing it. A lot of times, the smell, the sound, that all appears in genuine accounts, and it's something that people would have get wrong when they're thinking. actually I did. So, just because somebody doesn't have PTSD doesn't mean that they weren't harmed psychologically by whatever is being alleged. In this case, Ms. Hurd is alleging that she was psychologically harmed and that she suffered PTSD because of the things that she alleged occurred by Mr. Death. So I also, the MMPI too is helpful because it shows you kind of everything, any other symptoms, and then in Ms. Hurd's own self-report and her prior treatment record, I knew that she reported to me that she had some other symptoms. So now what becomes really important is determining, and let me clarify one thing here, not so much a diagnosis.
Yep.
If she started to experience symptoms during the relationship and after, did they worsen after? Or could these types of symptoms reports be explained by other factors? A, by pain, B, by pre-existing conditions, or C, by other stressful life events that might have occurred. So the main symptoms that I was looking at, this is criteria for PTSD, right? There was also, substantial evidence of this sort of emotional dysregulation, emotional disorganization, shallowness, and dramatic affect. Now, when you have a lot of childhood trauma, you can actually have some similar type presentation in adulthood. There are some differences though, but also that's not something that would have occurred after this relationship. So now I was looking at are there indications that these types of things that she's described, this transient anxiety, the issues with sleep, were these there prior? And sure enough, Ms. Hurd, in her own self-report, stated to me that when she first got to LA, she was seeking treatment for her blanket anxiety and depression. She also reported that she was taking medication, in general, none of them were helpful. That's actually very typical of borderline personality disorder. Medications typically aren't very helpful for some people with disorder. They really need an intensive, lifelong type of therapy, which is not necessarily as relevant as this. But interestingly, also,
She has that glare on her face, man. It's crazy.
Really positively.
She's like, oh my God.
Medications that are given for ADD or ADHD. And in one,
She has that look of disgust on her face.
he reported that Ms. Hurd told her that other medications were working for her except for one official, which is often prescribed as stimulant medication. And I just thought that was interesting and sort of consistent with more of these lifelong personality disorders that aren't necessarily caused by a harm by any allegations, but have been there and will remain there typically. The other issues, the anxiety, she already indicated that it's been there prior, but the form of the anxiety, so looking at Dr. Hughes' testing and then also looking at the scores on the MMPI, look at all these little combinations of scores, you have to learn a lot about is the anxiety related to an event, or is it more a person who tends to be an anxious person regardless of what's going on in their life? And
Interesting.
And
I forgot all of this. I didn't know any of it. I mean, and I watched it. I don't remember this.
Actually indicated that it was the latter, that her anxiety tends to be separate from events and more just kind of a constant, and it comes and goes, but it's more of a trait.
All right. Well, that was good to know because I didn't remember any of that.
It might be a good idea to break it out there. Yeah, and I can see you don't know.
I didn't remember any of that. Did you guys remember any of that? I don't remember that. All right. So now I'm going to look at Dr. Hughes's website and see what she's all about. I did see someone kind of exploring the website this morning. But it's very interesting to just kind of check and see what these guys are all about in terms of their websites and stuff. So let's go ahead and look at Dr. Hughes' website. This is Dr. Hughes' website. And she specializes in adult survivors of childhood abuse, intimate partner violence, rape and sexual assault. Oops, I should have said that. R and SA, physical assault, mugging, violent crime, post-traumatic stress, PTSD, and complex. Oh, she specializes in complex too? Interesting. She also does serious accidents, life-threatening events, terrorist attacks. Really? That's interesting. Anxiety disorders, OCD, panic disorder, phobias and fears, social phobias, life transition, stress management, relationship difficulties and separation and divorce. Let's see, what else does she specialize in? That's it. That's all she specializes in. Well, I mean, that's not like, whatever. That's not like all. She provides therapy, forensic psychology, specializations. She's from New York. She sure does look better on her website, huh, than she did on she did on the stand. Let's see. I don't really want to hear her background stuff. This lady is so arrogant. It's like, oh, I forgot to look up Dr. Hughes slamming the papers too on the desk. Do you guys remember that? I was like, what? Let's see if that's on there. Dr. Hughes. I don't know. I don't even know if anybody titled that, but Deb's attorneys. I was hoping somebody captured her giving captured her giving them the Dr. Grande did an analysis of her. Oops. I was hoping to find like Dr. Hughes gives. I wonder if they I wonder if that's even on here. Let's see. I'll mute it and see if I can find it real quick. There's a lot of people live right now. Let me see if she's. Wait. Oh, right here. Look. Here it is. I don't know how many people caught this. Look at, she slams the papers down. Why are we showing Amber? Nobody wants to see her. Let's see. Oh my God, you guys, my internet just keeps like being like so bad. It just like, it just keeps being so stupid. Just keeps. Come on. I just want to see her slam those papers down. When she has to give the papers to Johnny Depp's lawyers. They walk up there, remember, and they collect them, and she's like, here. Watch when she like is giving them the papers. It's just crazy. Look at, she just slams it down. Look at, she just throws them down. Look, just slamming them down. Like she just doesn't want to give up her shit. It's crazy. Oh my God, that lady just gets on my nerves. Anyway, I had to chat and remind everybody that. All right. So now let's hear her. Do I have to listen to her? I couldn't find. Oh God.
A forensic psychological evaluation is an evaluation that is conducted for the court to answer a particular legal question. It contains multiple parts. Ms. Hurd is my client of mine. She's never been in therapy with me.
I was watching somebody, like I said, that said that she doesn't review her cases. She doesn't review her cases. What?
Legal question. Forensic evaluation follows a methodology that what we say is a multi-method, multi-hypothesis-driven methodology, which means I look at a variety of different documents and data using multiple hypotheses. Not just one hypothesis, one theory of the case. We're going and looking to see, what possibly could be going on here. And then you use the data to arrive at that opinion. You look for consistency across the data to arrive at that opinion. And the forensic psychological evaluation has many parts. It has a clinical interview part, a structured or semi-structured clinical interview where I'm asking Ms. Hurd lots of things about her life, both before Mr. Death and after. It involves a psychological testing component of the evaluation, which allows me to do a broad scan of different symptomatologies that people might have in their lives, as well as to have indicators of how she approaches tests. Is she defensive? Is she malingering? Is she feigning? Is she exaggerating? It gives me indications about how she approached the evaluation.
She, her, she.
Audio, all the different things that we've had in this case, and then I conduct collateral.
Okay, that's all we wanted to hear from you. I can't listen to your nonsense very long. But her and her attitude, man. Her and her attitude, I just can't do it. So, and then I want to be refreshed about what she diagnosed Amber with. Is this the same one? Oh, this is Dr. Curry's cross-examination, huh? Let's hear. So we heard Dr. Hughes's.
Specifically was dedicated to historians. I was lucky enough to learn that.
Speak your full name.
Shannon Curry.
What do you do for a living?
I am a clinical and forensic psychologist. I started college at Georgetown University.
Can we put her on 2x speed?
University of California, Irvine, where I received my bachelor's degree in psychology and social behavior. I completed my master's degree in psychology at Pepperdine University. I went on to complete my doctoral degree in clinical psychology at Pepperdine University, which did several rotations at different practicum sites. Those are essentially simple rotations you do to learn various types of psychology, learn how to do psychological assessment, counseling, etc., and do that in a variety of different settings. And then I completed a year-long doctoral internship at an American psychological.
Excuse me.
Doctoral internship degree, and that was at Trigger Army Medical Center. It's traditionally a military internship. They did that historians. I was lucky enough to learn that. I then completed 2 years of postdoctoral training at Hawaii State Hospital, a Bach forensic psychology facility, and that's where you essentially have individuals with severe mental illness who have committed crimes.
Any additional
I have. So after I completed my doctorate and my postdoctoral training, I obtained a postdoctoral Master of Science degree in clinical psychopharmacology. That is for partial fulfillment of prescription privileges, meaning that it's part of what we prescribe medications as psychologists don't traditionally prescribe, and we do that with certain military programs in outer states. I also obtained advanced training in the Gottman method of couples therapy.
I don't remember if Dr. Hughes said she did that too. I don't remember. I think she's got it on her website, so I think she does.
helping couples without serious problems in their relationships.
What's the Gottman method?
The Gottman method is a highly research-based method of couples therapy. It's very structured, so different than what many.
This is kind of interesting to revisit because I don't think that Dr. Hughes talked about this.
In this therapy, they come in and see a really structured assessment at the beginning. They do instructions.
I think this is kind of good to revisit.
Before you can get started, and really identify if there is a target and structure intervention during each session. I think that it almost like a class. I did. So
Getting caught up. Getting caught up.
Was dedicated to essentially working with post-traumatic stress disorder, traumatic stress. A lot of my training has been with psychological assessment and testing. And then my training during practicum and then my postdoctoral work was dedicated to working with trauma populations and also conducting forensic psychological assessments. Oftentimes, forensic psychological assessments actually refers to testing and an interview and a couple other things or person-related law.
She doesn't have that like same condescending air like that the other lady does. You know?
Doing assessments for the military to determine whether somebody has sustained a mental disability after combat. So Tripler Army Medical Center is a hospital in Hawaii. If anybody's ever gone to
Oh, that's right. She practices in Hawaii. I forgot about that.
And it's one of the top training sites.
Interesting. See, it's always good to go back and listen again so that you remember.
While I was there, I did rotations in family psychology, different family therapy. I worked with children, but I also did a neuropsychology rotation, learning really things out of advanced psychological assessment, identifying not just mental issues, mental illness, but also traumatic brain injuries after trauma, and doing those PTSD evaluations, and then also working with service members.
I'm so glad I'm revisiting this. I really am.
Life stressors, and then also those who sustained tremendous trauma from combat. I do actually. Our practice,
She does.
my practice is very focused. It's on military service members, veterans, and their families.
What work have you done in prior?
Well, most of my litigation is working on civil work. That is mostly the work. So this is
I want to hear about the couples therapy.
the majority of forensic work has been in criminal law or providing
Their resume is kind of always boring.
version 5, and that contains every diagnosis using mental health, and it's the authoritative manual of mental diagnosis.
Time to refresh.
Yes.
So, remember, personality disorders. What's a personality disorder?
To understand the personality disorder, I think it can be helpful first to kind of define personality. So personality, so we take for granted, but
I'm glad I'm revisiting this. I totally forgot about all of this. It's really hard to listen, you know?
And these traits are pretty stable over time and across situations. You might, be sure might be confused when you're meeting somebody new, but overall, if somebody were to describe us or if we were to describe ourselves, you have a pretty good sense of who we are. Sometimes an easy way to think of it is
Amber Heard's like her, the way she's like,
their personalities are pretty clear. A personality disorder is some sort of dysfunction in those enduring traits. So as opposed to other types of mental illness, when you think about something like depression, that's episodic. It comes and it goes, and when it's treated with medication, it can pretty much be completely mitigated or minimized in a person's life, and their personality is still there, separate from the depression. When you have a personality disorder, there are going to be disturbances in several different areas that are visible in almost all different facets of their life. Yeah, so diagnosed in a treating environment, treating psychologist or a therapist or a psychiatrist simply does a diagnostic interview, which involves assessing multiple areas of a person's history, background, childhood.
I should have had the closed captions on there.
Sometimes that also is for psychologists. So treating like is there, and somebody's going in for treatment. The medical provider will ask them questions to find out what sort of symptoms they've experienced, what sort of things that occurred in their life that might be consistent with these disorders or rule out these disorders, prove that there's no reason for these disorders to be considered. They might also pay attention to their observations of life over time and new information that might provide them. The most reliable way, however, ever come about diagnosis really is through a comprehensive psychological assessment. And I might do some first assessment, examination, testing, interchangeably.
She just, man, I'm telling you.
Information from multiple different sources.
She's like, oh, I'm bored.
Main source, psychological testing, validated, objective measures.
Bad.
Accurate for testing what you want to test, and the environment you're testing. So they're measures specific for core environments where someone might be responsible. You integrate that with the same interview letter telling you that people would be therapy. You do that as well. And then in a courtroom setting, you're going to look at all the legal records, all of those documents, corroborating information to sort of track your hypotheses that may be developing, and also check against the examining statements to confirm whether you have enough evidence of a certain diagnosis. So,
oh gosh, I just want to know.
Yeah, so instability definitely translates to their relationships. You'll see relationships start very intensely. People will, somebody with borderline personality sort of perceive the relationship extremely close. This pattern of idolizing the value and acceptance of play.
God, this is so good. How did I miss all this? I saw it. I mean, it's kind of like so boring to go back through it, but it's like so important to like for next week. You know what I mean? It's just so important to like go back and watch it again.
Whereas most of us accept somebody as a whole, somebody who has a lot of still think they're my great friend, always all contact.
Makes sense though.
The person with borderline personality disorder is our black and white culture. And so that person goes from the idealized to the person who dumps her. They are total devalued. They are the worst.
Oh my God.
And then they're okay with care. The person who's disordered does feel wonderful after they have these reactions.
I'm so sorry, Johnny. I'm so sorry. Okay, let's just stop this right here. Okay, this is a perfect way for me to segue back and revisit yesterday. Okay, wait, y'all. Let me put this side by side. Look here. So this is perfect. This is a perfect segue. Why? Because yesterday when I played because remember, she's still going back up on the stand, right? She's still going back up on the stand next week. So this is kind of really, really important in terms of like Dr. Curry's like evaluation of her, because this is a perfect example, because remember, they haven't gotten to the Australia incident yet, I believe. So I'm going to listen to her one more time, and then I'm going to jump over. Actually, I'm going to jump over while she's talking to the Australia audio that we heard yesterday, so that we can hear we can compare side by side what she's saying. So let me grab the audio that we were listening to yesterday, because I kind of have it timestamped. You know, when you stop listening to something in your history, it'll like kind of pick up, I believe, where you left off. So let me pull this video over here. This is really good. Anybody watching me on Twitter will enjoy this. If you stumble across my video at this point, this is actually a really good place to kind of call, to kind of bring up, because this is exactly what she did in Australia. Am I not in the right account? Yesterday. I think this is from yesterday. Let me see. I want to bring it up because I want to show you guys what she's talking about, because it really makes sense. And this is why it was so important for me to come back and revisit this, because I knew there was going to be something that was going to be imperative for next week. I think this is really good. So I think we left. We'll start. I just have to make sure that I'm in the right place for I'm going to move this over here. I'm going to move this tab in here. Wait a minute. Oh, I can't add it because it's not. Wait. So hold on one second. I got to find it. I know that's annoying, but if you come across my video at this point, this is really good stuff, you guys. If you're just watching this on Twitter, this is good stuff because this actually aligns with what she's talking about. So I just want to hear I'm sorry. I want to hear the I'm sorry part. Oh, I should have timestamped it. But this is really important. This is super important of what she's saying, like right now. And people like, it's just, there's so much, right? There's so much. Wait a minute. Let's see. Where's her hysterical? I'm just looking for that hysterical part. And then I'm going to play what Dr. Curry said. It's really important, I think, for us to revisit this real quick. I should have sped it up yesterday too. Oh, you can't. Can you speed? Yeah, you can speed it up. I don't really want to revisit the same audio that we did yesterday, but it's important to like just hear that one part. See, she begins wailing. Okay, so she starts to cry. Okay. This is important for me to like visit this one scene. I just have to find. This is important. This is really important. I'm really happy I'm doing this. I'm just waiting for the I'm sorry part so I can like. Okay, so I'm gonna stop it right there because I think she says I'm sorry. I don't know if that's. I'm gonna leave it right there, but watch. So this is what she was just saying. This is the reason why it's so important to play this stuff back. I hope somebody sees this because this is important.
So they might say that they are going to file a restraining order or going to refuse, or they might do these things to actually try to keep their partner moving. Involvement, yeah, they're not conscious of the kind of they're just going to have that stand with my partner, they're like idolizing some value, and they'll do anything to express that capability.
They'll do anything. Okay. So they'll do anything. All right, there's this. This piece of audio is just so important. It's so weird. Like it's just important. It's important, man. I never meant to hurt him. So she's gonna hurt him, and then she's gonna say, he needs me right now. It's just, that's why, man, there's just so much. There's so much. And that's why it was so important for me to kind of go back and like look at, like, this is the reason why I started my stream the way I did, because I wanted to first talk about the documentation, right? What I saw on Twitter, and kind of just for myself, you know, kind of see what exactly was happening back then in 2016, especially when it was from the divorce, because I didn't follow the divorce. I didn't know. So that's why reading those documents, even though they're circulating everywhere on every platform and everybody sees them and everybody's reading them or everybody's playing them or whatever, posting them, I didn't see them for myself. So that's why I wanted to share that stuff with you guys when I first started the stream. If you saw it on Twitter or here. And then I wanted to talk about Dr. Curry's website, because I needed to see, how does Dr. Curry represent herself outside of this? That's the reason why I wanted to look at Dr. Curry's website. And then I wanted to see Dr. Curry's intro. I didn't get to it. Like, this is what I needed to play first before I played the other one. But since we already heard like how she diagnosed her, that's why it was important to hear that, the borderline personality disorder stuff from her. And then prior to that, when I had someone in the stream before, I wanted to play the clip from Richard Grannon, because I thought it was really important to hear how other people that specialize in psychology and psychiatry define narcissism and borderline personality disorder and all of that. And so that's why I thought it was really important to do that. And then I wanted to look at Dr. Hughes's website, you know what I mean? And just kind of see, how is she representing herself, you know? And I wanted to see the way that she was kind of introducing herself on the stand, because, you know, it's just been so many witnesses, so much information. It's just been overwhelming. And it's been 8 hours a day, and, you know, tons of people streaming this stuff. And I've been watching a lot of legal and, you know, people that are breaking this down, you know, objection by objection, and just like, you know, listening to this whole thing and the whole thing. So I wanted to make sure that I was kind of going back, and I just thought, well, hey, why don't I share that, you know, in a live stream? Because maybe there's somebody out there that didn't, you know, that didn't see what you know, that is like not caught up either. I know now a lot of people don't have time to watch this in its entirety, because it's just too long and it's too overwhelming. There's too much information, and it's insane. But for me, I thought, well, if I'm going to review this stuff, I'm just going to do a live stream and just kind of go through it all week, you know, and just see. And if someone wants to stop by and check it out with me, then that's great. That's one of the reasons why I wanted to have like my own kind of, I wanted to, you know, voice how I'm feeling with this as well, and just talk about it, you know, and just keep talking about it. But it's just very interesting to go back and to hear her kind of lay out what to look for. And then when you're listening to the audios, it's just kind of all falls into place, right? Of how she's acting. And she's so I mean, if you guys have a chance to listen to that audio, which I played a little bit of it last night in last night's stream when I had multiple people in here, but it's very interesting to hear how she's walking around, and she's kind of, I feel like she is very emotionally just regulated, or whatever they said. I feel like she really is like that. Like, because she's like crying one minute, then talking normally the next. And it's just weird. It's weird, like how her, like, and it's not even a video. That's the thing. It's not even a video. It's just, you hear it and you visualize it, you know? You try to visualize that you're there, especially if you guys have seen, I don't know if you guys have seen the virtual tour of Johnny's penthouse, but maybe we'll end with that, after this, so that you guys have a refresher of Johnny's penthouse. I was thinking about like saving that too for another live stream this coming week, so we can talk about where all this took place, because I think that's really important as well to hear about, like, where, like, the actual place. And I know I am going to be reviewing the audios as well. So today's Tuesday. So in the next couple of days, I think we're going to kind of we're going to watch a little bit of the audios that are available out there. And then we're going to also look at the virtual tour of his penthouse, because I think that's really important, to understand, like, when they mention these penthouses, to know what they look like inside. I think that's really important also for us to have a visual. Because I mean, some people are just going to watch these clips and then go, okay, that's like, that's enough for me to know. But like, to actually visually see the virtual tours of everything, I feel like is also really good. So everything that Dr. Curry said, honestly, is just falling into place, and she's so much, like, when she's crying and then she's not crying, and then she's yelling and she's not yelling, and she's taunting and then she's not taunting, and it's like, you never the other day when I was like thinking about all this, and when I was deciding if I even wanted to live stream this, and transitioning my channel and wondering if anybody was even going to like watch, or anybody that was even going to be interested in my personal opinion, which I don't expect, my live streams to really do well in the first few weeks, actually, because it's very hard to get your live streams out there circulating and people to see them. But I just really wanted to kind of voice my opinion live, you know what I mean? I just wanted to kind of search some of this stuff and just kind of give you guys what I think about all this stuff, because if you really go back and listen to these snippets of Dr. Curry and the way she's describing the disorder, and then to hear the audios, like I said, the way she's so on and off, and she's super, super over extremely emotional, and then she's just walking around talking normally. And then, in some of the other audios with him and her, she's just, I wonder if she has multiple personalities, because no one's ever said anything about that. They talked about borderline and histrionic, but they never said if she was multiple personalities. And I don't know if you guys, I know I'm a little bit older, so if you guys have ever seen, do I want to say Sybil? Is that the movie I'm talking about, Sybil, where she has like 27 different personalities or something? I mean, but I wonder if she has a personality disorder. I mean, obviously she has BPD, but I'm just saying, like, I wonder if she has a multi personality disorder. I'm very, very curious about that. I wonder, I just wonder. So, Dr. Curry kind of really broke it down for us. So I don't think we really need to hear. Well, actually, let me finish just this little clip of her finishing her thought on this, and then I'll move on to whatever else I think is imperative for us to talk about before I wrap it up. I think I'm probably going to be here for another hour. I think there's some stuff I just kind of want to share. So if anybody runs into this on the playback, or if anybody runs into this on Twitter, maybe I've pointed out something that they might want to listen to me on 2 times or something, and maybe I'll bring something to their attention that they forgot about. Because I know, like I said, I've been watching this trial from the very first day, and even the stuff that I'm hearing now, I've already forgotten. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've had to be refreshed. My memory needed to be refreshed. So let me go ahead and put her back on and just let her finish talking. So I think this is really interesting. This is really interesting. Just really, really good stuff, man. Good stuff. Very good stuff. Oh, I don't want to watch this. What? Is it? Oh, they're going to start cross. What is this? Oh, yeah. That's why I wanted to play this, because they were talking about her previous friends. Sorry about that. I mean, for the pause.
Sign the borderline personality disorder, if a friend or a loved one isn't meeting your needs in that moment, for them to react. So the striking Ms. Pennington from Ms. Pennington's report and declaration of the testimony I thought was pretty consistent. And then Ms. Bird's on the self-ownership. Yes. Yes, so the instability definitely translates either way. You'll see relationships start very intensely. People will, somebody with borderline personality sort of perceives the relationship as extremely close. This pattern of idealizing and devaluing definitely will play because it's their lovers and also their friends. And so this might be the perfect person, the perfect soulmate friend, perfect soulmate partner. And
Did we see this already? I feel like we saw this already.
Very charming to the other person. And so yes, everything is great. But what occurs with reality assessment, people are not perfect, even though we have a lot of in common with them. Whereas most of us can accept somebody as a whole, somebody who has a little bit of love, still think this is my great friend, who's always all constantly finding out for dinner. The first borderline personality disorder, things are in the extreme, black and white, color. And so that person goes from being idealized, the person to
I think I did play this first.
they are the worst friends, they don't care anything about me, better people around. And then it will care. If the person with disorder does get emotional, they have these reactions and other friends off. But over time, it wears away at these relationships. And so what we'll usually see is many transitions. People who were sort of fall by the wayside, who were really very close to it at one time, and then there's not a consistency along. And we'll also see that with relationships, many relationships, but none where parts of the long term. So again, that instills also travels toward identity. When I was describing personality earlier, I was talking a little bit about the habit, help us know who we are. When you have borderline personality disorder, that actually is not something you understand. So people with this disorder actually take on the identity of the people that they find with because it's comforting. It's very uncomfortable to not know who you are. Some people with this disorder will describe a feeling of emptiness, feeling that they feel like they've been abandoned because now they don't know who they are in the world. And so when somebody with this disorder is going through that initial investment phase with people and they're idealizing, they often will take on the identity of people. And they limit them in a lot of ways, like the way they dress, their interests, the way they talk. And for this reason, the people around somebody with this person from the outside, they feel like, wait, I thought you were this way, now you're acting for this.
That so explains her in the Australia in the finger incident. God, man, this is just weird. It's weird, like how.
So histrionic personality disorder.
Oh, histrionic. Yeah, this is important.
They belong to the same cluster. We call this cluster personality disorder. And this cluster is described as the personality disorders that are dramatic, erratic, and emotional. It's unpredictable, but really unpredictable emotions in relationships. They're very similar. Whereas I'm saying that borderline personality disorder, a lot of features like others are installed. When it comes to histrionic, a lot of features are going to be trauma and shallowness. Similarly, with borderline personality disorder, there's this underlying quality of avoiding abandonment. With histrionic personality disorder, the underlying drive is to always be the center of attention. Because if you don't have that attention on you,
that was her, like, on the last day. She was on stand. You guys, I mean, that's a clear display. That's a clear indicator of why she was so theatrical on that day, I feel like.
And when they feel that they're not the center of attention, you will see some strange things, making up stories to try to get attention often, taking on victims or successful people in particular, borderline personality disorder is similar because with borderline personality disorder, it's just an identity and splitting. You might see somebody go from being in the DSM and you need someone to help.
Have you guys ever seen that movie Split?
Partner is a terrible person. But you'll see away because they're so demanding for attention, that's when you might take the victim role as a principal and you make up stories. Sometimes those stories are to bolster the victim role. Sometimes those stories are just to make them look more interesting or accomplished so that they can get respect and attention. There is.
See, this is the reason why I wanted to revisit this part of it, because I don't remember it. Do you? I mean, I think she displays those characteristics, but to hear her break it down one more time, I think it's really good to hear it again. Like to play it this way. So, okay. So wait a minute. Let's hear that just one more time. Let's just hear that one more time. We'll just watch, and I'll tell you why I'm going to stop it.
They're very similar. Whereas I'm saying that borderline personality disorder, a lot of people like nervous are instability. When it comes to histrionic, a lot of people are going to
because I know histrionic are very fuel.
Borderline personality disorder, there's this underlying side of avoidance abandonment. With histrionic personality disorder, that underlying side is to always be better. If you don't have,
and you'll notice. I'll tell you after she finishes.
Okay? So, whereas borderline personality disorder might have more of a physical reactivity if somebody seems to be eating. With this kind of personality disorder, what you're going to see is extreme discomfort without being the center of attention, extreme effort to be the center of attention. And when they feel that they're not the center of attention, you will see some strange things, making up stories, attention often, taking on victim or princess roles, two roles in particular, consistent, seeking therapy. Borderline personality disorder is similar because with borderline personality disorder, it shifts of identity. Footing, you might see somebody go something in the DSM strategy and you need someone to help, seeking the perfect caretaker, you suddenly being the perfect that's working that their partner is a terrible person. With histrionic, what you'll see is somebody who wants to be the center of attention, has forgotten very flowing, very enthusiastic, but nothing's really being said. The moment your attention wears away, because they're so demanding for attention, that's when they might take the victim role as principal. You make up stories. Sometimes those stories are to bolster the victim role. Sometimes those stories are just to make them look.
God, this is her to a T. Okay, I'm going to stop right there, just because I want to say something. So I think this is a really important clip or segment of it to replay, because everything she just described, as we know, is, we actually got a whiff of, and we actually had like the opportunity to do a mental note of this before she got on the stand, right? And you guys, my eyes are super watery because this makeup is irritating my eyes really bad. So if my eyes look completely like super duper, I don't even know if you can tell because my lighting's so bad. I'm working on the lighting sitch. But anyways, I think it's really important for her to break this down one more time, or to revisit this portion of this segment of her testimony, because even though we know that a lot of what she's describing is kind of breaking down Amber Heard's actions, like her behavioral actions, one of the reasons why I wanted to revisit this in this live stream and do it slow and rewatch videos and all this kind of stuff with, just live, is because one of the things I found to be very interesting is that when Dr. Hughes, as far as I remember, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong if you see this portion of it and you're like, wait a minute, that's not right. But I don't remember, because I tried to get through Dr. Hughes's testimony as best as I could, but she was so arrogant and condescending. It was really hard to, just her tone. I didn't like her arrogance, of how she presented herself. I didn't like that. At least she's very professional, in my opinion. She doesn't come off like I'm above everybody in this room. I know more than everybody. I'm this expert. You don't know more than me. She's not doing that. She actually is breaking it down and actually just really explaining what it is that she's talking about, which I think is very important. That's why I wanted to play this particular clip. And that's why when she was explaining borderline personality disorder and I played the audio, she actually breaks down what borderlines do. And then to jump over and revisit the Australian clip one more time and to hear the way she's like broken emotional, then she's walking around the floor and she's acting normal. And then she turns around and she breaks down again. And it's almost like she's in a state that she doesn't even know what she's doing, honestly. And it's really strange because what makes her look worse, I think, than Johnny Depp is that it's one thing to have a substance. Well, I mean, I know she took things too, and she didn't consume alcohol also, and she also took her own substances. So I'm not really sure what the effects of that type of substance that they were saying that she likes. I'm very curious. I don't think I've seen any videos, and I really haven't. I really haven't explored that, and maybe we should do that before the trial starts again. But one thing I would really like to know, because I don't drink and I've never taken any substances in my life, so I'm wondering what effects does these substances that they were taking, that she was taking especially, have on the personality? Because if they don't really alter the personality, okay, the MDMA or whatever that she liked to take, if they don't really alter the personality the way that they're saying that Johnny was this and Johnny was that, it's even worse that she is this dysregulated, I think it's called, or whatever, in her demeanor. You know what I mean? Of obviously she was in shock or whatever happened in Australia, because you can hear her she's not even coherent. Like I don't believe, like I don't know. I mean, I don't even know if that's the right word, but like the way she's walking around that room and talking and and crying and then talking, and then it's just really weird to hear the way she's obviously, I know she's in shock. Probably he was in shock. Okay, they both have this crazy shit going on. But I just feel like if she wants to paint herself as someone that didn't take drugs or had control, how do we know that she didn't get in some state herself? You know what I'm saying? And while I'm listening to Dr. Curry talk about this, I'm thinking of the movie Split. Do you guys have any of you guys, if you're watching this anywhere, have you ever seen that movie Split? I'm going to show you just the what it looks like, the movie, in case you don't know what I'm talking about, because I don't know how many people saw it, but I'm going to look it up real quick just to show you what I'm talking about. It's called Split. It came out, I don't remember when. I remember I wanted to see it, but I couldn't remember. I can't remember what year it came out, but it's called Split. And the only reason why I'm bringing it up is because she talked about that movie Splitting. She talked about this splitting concept, of going one personality to the next. And that's why I was mentioning multi-personalities, because I wonder if she came out. That's another thing. I wonder if she quoted any of this movie. So this is the movie. When did it come out? When did it come out? Let's see. When did this come out? Oh, it came out in 2016. It came out in 2016. M. Night Shyamalan did it. Do you guys remember this movie? That's the only reason why it's coming to mind, because I remember he was like wacko. This is the movie I'm talking about right here. Do you guys remember this movie? It's called Split. It came out in 2016. I find that to be interesting, don't you? I find that to be very interesting. Very interesting. I know he's like weird. He abducts women or something. I don't know. Something weird. But anyways, this is the movie I was talking about. So when she was talking about splitting, it made me it made me wonder about this movie right here. So maybe we should watch this movie. Maybe anybody that's coming across this at this point, maybe we should watch this movie. What do you think? Let me know. I don't know, y'all. I don't know. I'm very curious. I'm very curious. So, anyways, that's the reason why I thought it was, like I said, really important to bring back some of these court clips of Dr. Curry, and why I feel like she was just the way she's breaking it down, and the way that she's like talking about the symptoms and the signs of it. I just think that this is way worse for Amber Heard than she thinks it is. All this drama and over extreme like details, and and I truly believe, honestly, too, talking about her testimony and how it ties in with Dr. Curry, is that most, like my brother said, I think yesterday in the live stream last night, is he said he was watching something, I think he said, and most people that have been through trauma like that they don't like to take themselves consciously back into that moment in time, when those crucial events happen in their life. So I did find it very also interesting that she remembered so much detail. I do think that's weird. So that's why it's not that it's not that Dr. Curry leans in, like I don't think that that's the reason why I'm leaning in towards Dr. Curry's evaluation more than Dr. Hughes. But I also find it very interesting that Dr. Hughes did not, in her evaluation, because she was so stuck. And I think, honestly, it was a tactic to get us not, to divert us away from focusing in on borderline. Because not once, at least that I remember, and maybe you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't remember her comparing the two. You know what I mean? Talking about the difference between, and why she didn't think that she had that. At least I don't remember that. I mean, you guys, there's been hours and hours and hours of this court testimony, so it's like really hard to like remember, obviously, what they said. But this is the reason why I wanted to revisit these clips so much, because I think it's really important to go back and try to find these details. And that's why I think we should, continue to revisit the way that these psychologists and psychiatrists are, or whoever these two, you know what I mean? Whatever their specialty is. I think it's important to listen to what they're saying, especially Dr. Curry. I don't know, just everything she's talking about borderline and histrionic. When you listen to the finger incident audio, it lines up so closely with what she says. So I think that's the reason why I wanted to dissect this so like fine tuned. And I think it's very funny too, that like how I'm finding just the right clips, because I didn't think, I thought I would get lost with that, but I'm kind of glad I did that. So I'm going to finish listening to this. I want us to finish listening just to this little part. And this is the reason why I wanted to break down her testimony, because there was just so much involved between the two of them that it's just really hard, to remember. So let's finish listening to what she was saying. But I wanted to stop it and talk a little bit about that, because I think it's really important to bring that up.
There is.
Oh, I know what I was going to say too. So he's asking, in terms of like sexuality, he's talking about how that's relevant. Well, the reason why I wanted to stop it anyway, originally, is because recently, I think over the last week or so, Kevin Costner came out and called her out. It said, I don't know if it's a fact or not, but he called her out. I thought they said it was verified, but he called her out for she walked into his trailer naked or something. So that's kind of another sign that she was using her sexuality kind of as a weapon or a tool to kind of seduce or intoxicate whoever she was targeting, And I think that's probably how she manipulated Franco and Musk also. I really honestly believe that she used her sexuality as a tool or as a weapon, to get these men to really kind of get um, mesmerized by her, or hypnotized by her, or whatever that is. So he's asking her, but I thought the reason why I wanted to continue this is because he just asked her about her friendships, and she answered that. Because honestly, I want you guys to keep something in mind as well, especially if you've been watching this the whole time, or if you've just stumbled across this at this point in the video, is that they don't just, people like this, and I've said it before, I'll say it again, and I'll keep saying it, is that people like this don't just treat one person this way. They treat everyone this way. So it's not like she's gonna act any different with the male people in her life, or whoever, like her intimate relationships, this way to dominate those relationships, or to have control over those relationships. She's going to do this with everyone in her life, and she's going to learn what works, and she's going to study. And I think that's part of the reason why they say her sister is so, I don't know. I don't know if her. I'm not sure if her. I mean, they said her sister was physically terrified of her, or is physically terrified of her, and I think that might. I think if her sister is continuing to back her up and continuing to feel intimidated by her and manipulated by her, and I honestly think that her sister, if her sister's been going through this through childhood, I have a feeling her sister has Stockholm syndrome. I mean, I really feel like her sister is just kind of stuck with this. I mean, I think her sister is kind of under her, she just is kind of trapped in it. I think she's trapped between, and it's very common if one of the parents were narcissistic, and it sounds like the father was very narcissistic, and it sounds like the mother was very empathic in some way, like, constant. I don't know. I mean, I'm just kind of making my own assessment, or my own kind of putting it together in my mind. But I think that I think narcissism was running through the family, and there is information out there to talk about kids of narcissistic parents, and how some of the siblings do inherit the narcissistic disorder. And narcissistic abuse occurs in siblings that have narcissistic parents. And again, I'll bring it up again, how that's why you have mothers as the ringleaders. And it's not always the case, but females, like when you watch, female true crime shows like Snapped and Deadly Women, and shows like that, how they show that how the mother can have control over the children, and the children will commit heinous acts for the mother. There was a movie out a while, I mean, it was some time ago, of a family from that was here in Northern California somewhere, and the mother was abusing the children up until like adulthood, and she was having the children do, and she even had the children commit heinous acts against their siblings as well. So it's just, I believe that since the father, I feel like since the information that we've learned with the father, and here I go again talking and not, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to continue. I get on this tangent and I forget this StreamYard thing. I have to remember, like, to take myself off. I have to remember to take the thing off, like maybe this way, I guess is better. Anyway, I was getting to the fact that, like, if the father was that abusive, and especially with the animals involved and stuff, and the daughter was more kind of Amber was tomboyish, or took on that sort of dominant role, I feel like, and her sister Whitney fell underneath that I don't know, fell somewhere in between. So it sounds like to me, and I don't know for a fact because I don't know these people, but it sounds like to me that Amber took more after her father and observed that as she was growing up to see how fear instills power, and the mother, if the mother was like, like if the mother was uh empathic or, passive, very timid in any way, then it sounds like her sister Whitney also was very similar to the mother. And I don't know, do they have any other siblings? I'm not sure if they have any other siblings, but that's what it sounds like to me. It sounds like that's why she speaks for her sister. Do you know what I mean? Like that's why she kind of steps in front of her sister, it sounds like, and she calls it protection, but that's not it. She wants to control her sister, and she knows that she can emotionally terrorize her sister. And I think a perfect example of that was the reality clip that they showed of the sister being physically, having scratches and all that kind of stuff. So I find this very interesting to hear Dr. Curry break this stuff down. And I'm only leaning towards Dr. Curry more because I feel like, I mean, if it was Dr. Hughes that was describing symptoms that she was showing that were more identifiable with her behavior, then I would probably be leaning more towards Dr. Hughes because I feel like I'm trying to be fair throughout this whole thing. But because Dr. Curry has been so descriptive and so detailed in how this disorder works, I feel like makes more sense. It just makes more sense. It's like the way she's acting, the way she's deals with her family, the way she has her friends dealing with her, the way she moved all of, and I mean, like I said, I'm not saying that Johnny Depp is innocent in all aspects but I just don't believe, and it may be, I don't know, I just don't believe that since all these people from all these decades, he's known these people. I don't believe these are yes people. I believe that all these people that have come around to say he's just a very kind, honest, generous person. I believe that it just makes more sense that he would, as a partner and as a companion, that he would want her to be happy. I mean, if it says he knew he worked more than she did, and he knew that there were times that she would be, alone or whatever, that he would embrace and want her family and her friends, and he didn't mind, putting up those people. Because I mean, if you listen to his testimony, he sits there and that there's a question that's asked over and over and over again: who paid for that, and who paid for that, and who paid for that, and who paid for that? And he says, or how much did they pay for that? How much did they pay for that? How much did they pay for that? And he keeps saying nothing, 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 nothing. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like it's evident that I don't think he power played her. Now, I mean, if they're saying, if they're talking about, and this is relevant to Dr. Curry, that's why I've gotten into this dialogue, but I think it's relevant to Dr. Curry also that what Dr. Curry said about this histrionic borderline thing. I think it's very crucial to keep listening to that, at least until the trial resumes, so we can see her demeanor and how she acts on the stand for day 3. But I honestly feel like it's very important to understand what this means, because I just feel like she used her sexuality for a lot of things, obviously, but she also just preyed upon his weaknesses, knowing he was passive, knowing he was kind, knowing he wanted to accommodate her. And this whole thing about how he was possessive in this and this and that, I think everyone that's in a relationship goes through some form of I wouldn't say possessive, and I wouldn't say jealousy, because I don't believe in jealousy, but I would say that it falls somewhere into territorial. And the reason why I say that is because when you're in a relationship and you're trusting somebody and they suddenly give you a reason to not trust them, or your behavior is displaying something out of the ordinary that it was prior to. And like I said, I'm not saying Johnny Depp was perfect. I'm not saying that. And I'm not saying that he didn't do his wrongs. But at the same time, I just feel like if she was taunting and flirting and being provocative, this was a marriage, not a dating thing. I mean, I know they dated at first, but like she was literally cheating in the marriage. So I feel like if he did at any point become territorial, or I don't know about possessive, but I mean, if he did start showing, you know, showing how he was feeling and voicing how he was feeling of his doubts about her being faithful or whatever, then I think he had every right to do that. I mean, like Kevin Costner said, she walked into my trailer naked. You know what I mean? And that's a histrionic trait. That's a histrionic trait. So like I said, if that's why I played that clip earlier in the stream, so that you guys could see that, because I think it's really important to know what all that, how a histrionic and a borderline works. But anyway, that's why I wanted to talk a little bit about that, because I think it's very important to understand all the things that Dr. Curry's saying. And I understand that people are saying, oh, that's what she does. She does that anyway. But I mean, I think it's important to understand the details of that and the behavioral actions of that, because this is a defamation case. It's not, I mean, this is all surrounding the op-ed. And if the op-ed was about him, and if the impact of the op-ed caused him financial loss, right? And did he truly do these things that she's alleging he did? But it's digressing away from what did she do. I mean, a person doesn't just do those things that she's accusing him of for no reason, just for funsies. Like, now she's moving things from 2004, 2013 to 2012. You know what I mean? So it's just, to me, it all's coming together. And like I said, I honestly wonder if she's if she has multi personalities as well. I don't know. I just wonder. There's a lot of evil lurking in this girl, and there's a lot of hatred and a lot of envy that's lurking in this girl, and I don't understand it. I don't get it. I'm trying to understand it emotionally, but I just find it very, very interesting. So let me finish with Dr. Curry. Let me let her finish what she was saying. So, but I stopped to talk about that because I think it's important. I don't know. I think all of the stuff that she's like explaining, it's really hitting. Like, if you put it all together, because she was the last one to perform on the stand, she was the last one on the stand. I just think all this stuff is even more evident at this point, with her performance.
Remember, he is center of attention. And when things that are not the center of attention, you will see some strange things. Maybe that story try to get attention often, maybe on victim or princess role, people in particular, are consistent. It's irritating. Borderline personality disorder is similar, because the borderline personality disorder is shifts of identity. And you might see somebody go from the DSM crisis, and you need someone who can help, seeking the perfect caretaker, who suddenly being the offender against injustice, or their partner is a terrible person. With histrionic, what you'll see is somebody who wants to be the center of attention, has forgotten impressionistic speech, very flowery, very enthusiastic, but nothing is really being said. The moment your attention wears away, because there's a demand for attention, that's when you might take some more attention. You need stories. Sometimes those stories are to bolster the victim role. Sometimes those stories are just to make them look more interesting or accomplished in their mind, so that it can get the second attention. There is, strangely, and this is always one of the trickiest things to talk about, because how do you intelligence it? But characteristics of people with this disorder are very, very interested in books, but more importantly, to utilize their books to get that attention.
Hence the naked in the trailer, Kevin Costner.
Everybody, characteristically, they actually can be subtly manipulative. I'm not talking overtly sexy, but inappropriately flattering. Sometimes they act in a kind of bullish way to use the gender attention. And this will occur in their therapy relationships as a way to sort of therapist gifts or wrapping, if they engage in therapy, because they just don't want any criticism of the selection. Yes, and I think one way to think about it that's probably a little more accurate than this intelligence is psychology would describe this more as sophistication. So pretty much the way, for instance, I've had many clients who have organized personality disorder who are messy and really suffering, and they might
Messy.
be difficult and all over the place and yelling in the middle of session, but it's so
Sound familiar?
it's not real. It's
Look at her. She's just like, ugh. She has that thing she does with her mouth. Have you guys seen that? She has that thing she does with her mouth all the time. I can't wait for the behavioral panel to like tell us what they think. Hence, she dresses just like Johnny Depp at court. Exactly like it. It's freaky. He wears something that she wears something. It's stockish. A lot of stockage going on there.
They tend to kind of hit you where it hurts a little bit more, and they can actually be very, very destructive. With her testing and communication, she was very likable, but her testing in particular shows that she approached it in a manner that, remember I told you about those scales that are pretty neat. She approached it in a manner that very clearly minimized any psychological dysfunction. Not just that, but really presented herself with any problem. And she did so in a way that was very, very sophisticated, not obvious, by responding to questions that most people might not notice, which we're trying to look at. So that's based on a particular scale on the that is designed specifically.
Oh yeah, remember Dr. Hughes talked about the MMP whatever 2 or whatever.
Problems in a way that most lay people probably wouldn't understand, even providers. Very difficult. So I think it's probably present mostly or you see the bulk of it in relationships because of that regular interaction and the desire for the partner to meet all of your needs to be the perfect caretaker. Also that the hallmark that sort of displayed. So idealizing the value and the perceiving of all sorts of neutral events as somehow demeaning or disrespectful. It's regular escalations of anger, frustration, complaints, criticism of your partner. But because the person with borderline personality disorder critical, they're more sensitive to things, they feel stress more strongly, and then that stress lasts longer. So these types of blow-ups go on forever, and they're very sick. It feels like you just can't get a resolution, and eventually the partner will try to want to leave, take break, it wears them down, and that's when the borderline might explode, and that's there to resonate or violence. Yeah, so I'm not sure. Okay, yes, I do. So, in addition to looking for Mr. General mental status, any psychological issues that were present, I very specifically was assessing whether post-traumatic stress disorder.
Oh, good. Okay, good.
So first of all, some multiple information sources, right? So I'm integrating the interview, my review of the data, the case records, other people's testimony, the treatment records. And then I also conducted, in addition to MSI2 and looking at that data, I also conducted The that we have five, which is the gold standard PTSD assessment. It's developed by National Center for PTSD, shown valid, accurate, for use not just with service members, but also with civilians, men, women, all genders, and also all ethnicities, and also specifically for so the top five is.
Oh, well, we don't really care about all the testing. I think that's enough of that. I wanted to share, I needed to see that though. I needed to revisit that a little bit and just kind of figure out how I feel about the two. Like I said, I think the most important thing that I wanted to come into my live stream and talk about in terms of looking at their, hold on, I'm trying to get myself back on the screen. One of the things I wanted to talk about the most was that I found it very, very interesting. Like I said, that Dr. Hughes never, I don't remember. I mean, I had some of her testimony up in her diagnosis, but I don't remember her saying, and I could be wrong, with her, did she say, like, if you come across this part of this live stream, or you just so happen to click on it at this point, did Dr. Hughes compare in her testimony why she didn't think Amber Heard had histrionic or borderline personality disorder? Because I don't remember that. I mean, I saw the trial like everybody else, but I didn't take notes, and stuff. I was just watching it because it was such long days and stuff. But I don't remember, I don't remember her saying, I don't know. I just remember her, like, maybe she did. I don't know. I mean, it would make sense that Elaine would ask her, like, why do you think she doesn't have this? So it makes sense that Elaine would ask her, but I just don't remember. Girl, there is so much in this trial that it's just so much, man. Oh, yeah. Okay. And so after we get through this, I want to say, because it's starting to make headlines, and I think they're following the depth thing, just saying, because I'm going to be closing out my live stream pretty soon. But the next live stream the next stuff that I want to kind of talk about, or that I want to start keeping up with as well, because it's starting to be talked about slowly but surely, is the Marilyn Manson case. I have to get myself familiar with that because it seems like that's a lot more detail. There's a lot more people involved in that. It seems like he's got several people that are coming to the forefront, accusing him of this or that. I don't know him. I don't know anything about him. I was never a fan of his music, so I don't know. I know him and Johnny Depp are good friends, but I think this is now going to start bringing, like, it's going to start bringing a lot of more attention on these kinds of cases. This Depp case, I think, is just going to start bringing so much more to light and so much more to the forefront of people talking about this stuff. And I think, borderline personality disorder and histrionic is going to make its way around again. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I mean, this stuff has been talked about for a long, long time. I just feel like it's not really something that you would think about, like, talking about if you never really heard of it, or you've never really kind of researched about it, or you don't know what it is, kind of thing. Oh my God, I can't believe this lady right here. So you guys, Legal Bites is going to have, let me show you, because I just have to say something. I know nobody watches my streams, but I got to tell you guys about this. So if you're seeing this at this very mark in the stream, let me show you something. I can't, oh, okay. I just have to say something out loud. I have to say something out loud. So I'm going to flip my screen back over here. But so Legal Bites has this, oh my God, these two people that I cannot stand on YouTube. She's going to have this psychology guy, which is so full of shit. And this lady right here. Crap. This is crap. I'm going to tell you right now. These people right here are full of crap. They're just like, these people are showing up on her channel for clout. I'm going to tell you that directly. And I know I'm nobody on YouTube and no one's watching my streams or whatever, but these two people are full of crap. So I do not care for these two people. I saw one of her videos and I was like, oh, she should be having Richard Grannon on here and Sam Bagman more than these two clowns right here. Because these two right here are ass clowns. They're ridiculous. Or even Dr. Grande. Like if she had Dr. Grande on her show, I think she'd get a lot more like respect. These two people right here are clowns. They are literal ass clowns right here. These two. I can't with that. I can't. But I had to show you that because I cannot stand those two people. This lady right here she's a fucking clown right here. I just cannot. I don't know. I just don't respect their work at all. I don't think they know what they're talking about. And all he does is like this guy right here, this ass clown right here, he just does like the housewives. I mean, seriously. Okay? He does the housewives. And this idiot right here, okay, I can't. I would never sit there and watch that crap. Never. I don't. It's like the guy that I told you guys yesterday in my live stream that was doing let me bring his video up just because now I've kind of hit a hair. Remember how I was telling you that I was kind of like looking around to watch videos and stuff about like who was making videos about this, the UK case too. Wait, I don't remember. He was like, I'm a forensic psychologist, and oh my God, he just got on my nerves. I don't remember his his channel. Let me see. I'm trying to find him. I don't remember his channel. Oh man. I'll bring it up on another live stream. But I just remember he was an idiot. That's all I know. He really got under my skin. This one might be good, but that's 46 minutes. I'm not trying to do that. I'm trying to share my thoughts. I was watching that thing with Dave Chappelle, remember? Got attacked. I was watching that because it sounds so horrible. But I wanted to where is that guy? I have to look at I tried to leave a decent comment on his I don't remember. I don't remember. I'll have to share with you guys another day, but yeah. I don't know. Let's see what comes up. Let's see what's there's Amber Heard plays guitar. Look at that. That's crazy. Let's see, Amber Heard. Let's just see what comes up under her right now. Let's just find out what's going on with her right now. Since this is all about her. I was hoping to find that stupid psychologist that just irritated the shit out of me. I don't know. I don't. It's just this thing is everywhere. It's just like you can't. What's this? Jason Momoa ripped the last pages out of Amber Heard's book on the. Oh no, she's coming for him. He's next. I don't understand this. This girl is just too much. She's just. This whole crying without tears. Amber Heard on Johnny Depp privacy and abuse against women. Flashback. Oh, hey, have you guys seen that that one clip on that UK show of her saying that she donated the $3 million to the ACLU? Did you guys see that? That was funny. I didn't even know. I I don't know much about the UK, but it came up in one of my feeds, and I was like, oh my God, she actually literally just said that she was the voice of DV, and she donated all this money when she didn't donate shit. So that was very interesting. But I wanted to see if I could find that, that idiot that I was watching. I'll have to show you guys on at another time. But yeah, I am gonna start talking about the police officers that they I mean, it's just I didn't really want to go over the witnesses, honestly, just because that was like a tedious thing. There's so many witnesses. I'm more curious to like this right here is too much. But I want it she's like I wonder how the UK is like embracing all this stuff. I wonder what the UK is saying. Because their judicial system is so different than ours. Man, she looks like a clown, like saying that she donated that money. Girl, too funny. Anyway, well, I think I pretty much covered everything that I wanted to cover. The only reason why I was scrolling through here, you guys, I know that people don't like that. But the reason why I was going through that, so many people are reviewing this thing. I wish I had a following. That'd be fun. I mean, to have like actual conversation about this. But the only reason why I was scrolling through this is because there was a UK psychologist, a forensic psychologist, that actually was talking about this case and was talking about the judge in the UK and how like she won this case, and it was too much to even listen to because everybody knows that UK case of him losing was just complete. It was just unfair. Like they didn't allow him to defend himself, and like how can you support or even bringing that up? I mean, apparently from what I understand, it's like why? And then to find out that the son of the judge of the UK, here, let me instead of me scrolling through this BS, let me put let me put the camera back on me, because here, let me put the camera back on me. Instead of you watching that boring. um anyway, anyway, he was just talking about the judge. Oh, like I said, to learn that the son of the judge that ruled in favor of Amber Heard in the UK, his son worked for the Sun paper. So that's why newspaper. So that's why I mean, that's why when he lost, they keep saying he lost that case, but they're not really talking about the nit and grit of why he lost that case. So he waited all this time to sue to clear his name. And I just think this entire thing is just so sad. I mean, the whole thing is just like, just unbelievably sad. Oh my God, look at, you guys should, this video of her and James Franco. I swear. I don't know. I just think that everybody is getting in on this, talking about it and stuff. I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with that, honestly. I don't think there's anything wrong with anybody, like with any YouTubers, like talking about this thing, just as a person that's just speaking as a viewer also, you know? I don't think there's anything wrong with anybody, like, voicing their opinion. But it just really upsets me when, and I'll bet you $1. Okay, let me just say this before I close my stream out. I bet you $1 that those two clowns that I just showed you that are going to be on Legal Bites, and I like Legal Bites. I have nothing against that channel. I really like them a lot. I watch them all the time, and she's blowing up. She's like viral now. She's almost at 200,000, and she started at 50 before the trial. So she has like 200,000 followers, and I really, really like her. But the two people that she's going to bring out, that she's going to bring on this show, I bet you they reached out to her. I don't know. Maybe it was the opposite. I don't know. But I do know they're clowns. I do know that for sure. In my opinion, That's just my opinion. But because I've watched their videos, both of them, and they're just, please. I mean, if you're going to get somebody on your channel, please get somebody reputable. You know what I mean? Get somebody that has like, that's not doing it just for because they're a large YouTuber. That's what happens when these YouTubers like rise and they skyrocket to the top, is that, you know, I don't know. It doesn't, anyway. I don't need to be commenting on that, but it's just, I have very strong feelings about that because it just happens over and over and over again. And it's like, I would love to ask some of the YouTubers that I watch that actually really care about educating like quality information to people and, you know, good education rather than just getting the ass clowns that just think that they're celebrities now from YouTube. So that's the reason why I feel so strongly about that. But I think I covered pretty much everything I wanted to talk about. I knew I was going to be here for at least 3 hours. I think I pretty much talked about everything. I'm looking to the left because I was looking for that video, but I don't think I'm going to find it. But to close out the stream, I just wanted to once again leave you guys with the place, the resources where I got. I don't know if this is even really like reliable, to be honest, because I feel like the Mayo Clinic is probably a better source to get information on borderline. But let's see, the National Alliance of what? Let's see, borderline personality disorder is a condition characterized by difficulties regulating emotion. So, and that I could see why Dr. Curry said that it's really hard to diagnose. So it makes sense. Oh, here it is. Let me show you this. I'm looking at this. I'm looking at the National Alliance of Mental Illness. So that's what I'm looking at in terms of borderline. It's kind of interesting, you know, the causes and things like that. But I do kind of really believe her that it probably is very difficult to diagnose. I think possibly that could be true. I do know that a lot of these disorders, like personality and histrionic, are probably very difficult to prescribe. Not prescribe, to diagnose, because it's just so weird. Like if you've ever looked at the DSM online, then you can see the similarities of the way that the actual psychology field or industry, I don't know, field, I guess, diagnoses you in that book. So let me show you guys real quick before I close this out what that website looks like, especially if you're in therapy or if you're seeing any kind of mental health professional. I'm going to show you what that looks like, because I think a lot of people don't understand what the DSM is. I think a lot of people don't understand how someone is diagnosed. I think a lot of people don't really even care, honestly, those intimate details of how they diagnose you. But I'll tell you right now, y'all, once you're diagnosed, it brands you. So it's very difficult to get that it's very difficult once you get diagnosed with something to get it reversed. It's very, very hard to do that. So here's the website, and I'll show you what it looks like as soon as it comes up. So here's the Diagnostic Manual of Mental Illness. Let me put myself small again. So this is the Diagnostic Manual of Mental Illness, and here's the DSM, and it's the American Psychiatric Association. And you can, let's see if we can search borderline. Let's see. Let's see. I think it's the hard part about looking this stuff up, you guys, is the way that you look it up. I feel like it's uh let me see. I'm just trying to, before I close this out, I just want to show you guys how I'm searching for this, because I feel like some people are going to go online and say, "What is the DSM and how do I look at that? How do I find that? And what is the what does that even mean?" Um, let's see. I do know that there's a direct place where you can go where the DSM will actually tell you what the diagnosis is, the criteria for borderline. So this kind of is going to go into more I don't know, that's not, to me, if it's not a .org, it's not worth it. I'm just saying, in my opinion, it's just not worth it because I feel like I just don't trust .coms. That's just me. I mean, kind of silly, but I guess, but it's just, you want to make sure that you're getting your information from like this DSM-5 criteria for personality disorders. Let me see. I'm trying to. I wanted to show you guys what the actual DSM looked like, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to find it. Oh yeah, is this the DSM? Here it is, right here. Whoop, there it is. So this is what they look at when you're in therapy, and what they diagnose you from, which is very scary. But this is actually the criteria for personality disorder, for a personality disorder. So this is kind of where they're looking when they actually diagnose you with something, because this is actually the diagnostic statistic manual of mental disorders. This is it. Like, this is, to me, is very important to know, because this is going to show you how they diagnose you with whatever disorder they're talking about. So hopefully someone will see this at this point in the stream, and understand that this is kind of what they're looking at when you go into therapy and you're telling them your symptoms and you're telling them how you're feeling, and they're looking at the criteria to diagnose you with something, right? Because they have to diagnose you in order to medicate you. They have to do that. So, I mean, I can just share my own personal experience with therapy. I had a therapy experience back in 2008 where I ended up, it was through my job, and I had to go see a psychologist and a psychiatrist. I'd never been to see a psychiatrist before, ever, because I was having panic attacks and I was just having this like just anxiety. It was from a medical procedure. And so I ended up having to take off time at work. And so when I did that, I went to go see a psychiatrist, and for this specific psychiatrist, the appointments were only 15 minutes. And so I was like, this is going to be interesting, because how do you, let me put myself up there. I felt like this was going to be interesting, because how do you determine, like, how are you going to determine anything if you only see me for 15 minutes? Like, what? And then I found out through my psychiatrist that she was like, well, I have to diagnose you in order to give you any medication, because psychiatry is medication. That's what they're for. So I was like, so based on what I told her in the 15 minutes, honest, I'm not joking. And this was way back when. So I don't know, maybe they changed things. I doubt it. But when you sit down and you tell them how you're feeling and what symptoms you have, they have to diagnose you with something in order to medicate you. So I just remember she gave me this fucked up, whacked out medicine that, like, and I only took one pill, and it was really weird. It knocked me off my feet. It made me feel very like, and I just didn't like that feeling. And I knew right then that I had more power. I didn't like that feeling. And so I didn't take that medication, because it was like, it hit me like a train. I was like, whoa. But the psychology part of it, I felt I felt like it was productive until I started researching on my own psychology, and I started, kind of following some people on YouTube that really I felt like knew the the area really well, in my opinion, for the way I receive information. And I felt like that was like the best, like that I got more education watching YouTube and learning from people that really care about education to, to teach you about this kind of stuff. I got more information from that than I did from therapy. And even as I went through the years going through therapy, because I haven't been in therapy in a long time, but based on, all the stuff that's circulating and based on just what I showed you in terms of the DSM-5, and I'll put it back up, I started wondering, because I actually was watching people who were teaching us about the DSM-5 and the way the criteria is met in order to diagnose you with something. And I wanted to know, what is this DSM-5? So I ordered myself a copy because I was like, well, wait a minute, like, do I truly fit into this bubble they're putting me in reference to my symptoms? And I learned about the DSM-5 and the criteria, and I started looking it up. And it's a very interesting book. It is kind of hard to read, but it's not hard to read. Do you know what I'm saying? Because this is what they're looking at when you go into therapy and you tell them your symptoms, and this is what they're going to base their decision on diagnosis for you. And it's been explained several times. It's been explained on how they determine how they're going to diagnose you. And I just think it's really important to know what this book means and what it is. And I think that you'd learn a lot if you decide to go ahead and give it a gander. So here's the borderline personality disorder in the DSM-5. So I'll wrap it up with this because I did intend on being online for 4 hours. Whether someone watched or not, I wanted to make sure that I was doing what I said I was going to do, because I want to try to stream as much as I can. You never know who's going to see it on Twitter. You never know who's going to see it on the playback. But this is the borderline personality disorder right here that they're talking about when it comes to the DSM and how they look into the criteria. So I'm going to go over this really quick and then we'll close out the video. But this says the DSM-5 criteria revised. So it was revised in 2011. And like I said, I follow Richard Rannon, and he has a very strong opinion against borderline personality disorder, which I find is very interesting. And I know that this seems like it's not relevant to the Depp Heard case, but it is. It really is, because when you have these psychologists up on the stand, it's very important to understand what they're talking about. And I understand that most people are just hearing, gibberish, and really they just want to know, did he do it or did he not do it? But for some of those that are fascinated by the way psychology works, this is what they're going to refer to. So it says the essential features of a personality disorder are impairments in personality, self and impersonal functioning, and the presence of a pathological personality trait. Or it says, and the presence of pathological personality traits, so plural. And it says, to diagnose borderline personality disorder, the following criteria must be met. And I do believe that Dr. Curry did talk about there's 5 areas or something that someone has to meet. So this first one is significant impairments in personality functioning manifest by impairments of self-functioning. So that's identity, like she said, and that's markedly impoverished. Is it impoverished? Poorly developed or unstable, like she was saying, self-image, often associated with excessive self-criticism, chronic feelings of emptiness, disassociative states of under stress, self-direction, instability in goals, aspirations, values, and or career plans. So this is just something, I won't read them all because it will take forever to do that, and I want to wrap up the stream now. But this is really something that you should know, that if you are in therapy, this is going to be something that you want to know what it is. It's not that you have to read every single thing in it, but you should know what it is that they are referring to. So here's narcissistic personality disorder. So it kind of goes through the different disorders. And so this is what they're talking about when they say the DSM-5. So I will put this link in the description box if anybody wants to look at it, even if you just want to don't know, thumb through it for funsies, just so you understand what they're talking about when they talk about these personality disorders. I just think that knowing the DSM-5 or being familiar with it, because I don't know if your psychologist or psychiatrist is ever going to say, "Hey, do you know what the DSM-5 is?" They're probably not going to say that to you, but it is important for you to know, especially if you're being treated and you're in therapy. So I will leave this link below. This is actually just referring to personality disorder. The way that I'll go ahead and link this below. It's 15 pages, but if you have PDF on your phone, if you don't have PDF on your phone, you can get a PDF app for it, and it'll allow you to open it and just look at it on your phone. But this is just going to refer specifically to personality disorders. But I will go ahead and try to see if I can find the main DSM book where you can actually look it up on your own if you want. But I just thought I would share that. I don't know. I just think it's interesting. Everybody wants to like kind of chime in on that Amber Heard is this or that, and that's fine. I think it's fair. I think it's fair for everybody to make their own judgment, but at the same time, or their own, assessment, if you will, even not having, a degree or of any sort or anything like that. But it is kind of, if you really truly want to know, if her behavior, in your opinion, your personal opinion, meets any of this, I'll leave it in the links below, and you can actually look it over and make your own decision. I think most people are just basing it on her extreme overacting performance, her theatrical Oscar-winning debut of how she saw that whole entire episode. But anyway, you guys, all right, I'm going to wrap it up. I think I covered everything on my agenda. I didn't really need to go this long, but I definitely wanted to go, so if anybody wanted to kind of come and go, or if anybody on Twitter wanted to come and pass by and say, and just see what I was all about. Streams are new for me. I don't normally stream. Never streamed before, only streamed once with multiple people last night, or tried to. And then now I'm going to be streaming the majority of the time by myself. I will try to go ahead and include multiple other people in my streams when they're available or when they're interested. And I'll have more of a structured, kind of guide when I have other people on my streams. But I definitely enjoy streaming. And obviously, after this is all over, my streams will be narrowed down to like an hour, maybe an hour and a half. I think streaming this long is a little bit excessive, but I don't know. I just feel like there was so much in the trial. It's like, whether someone watches this or not, I kind of just wanted to share what I found interesting and fascinating about learning a lot of aspects of this trial. And I think a lot of it is relative. I think a lot of this will apply to the average everyday person. I think obviously celebrities live in a different world we do, but I still think that the reality of, the psychology of it all is the same for anyone. You know what I mean? It really is. So I hope you guys enjoyed all the content that I provided tonight. I hope that, I'll get better. I'll learn how to condense things. I'll learn how to not, bring you so much in the surfing, the internet kind of thing or whatever. But, I see different people on YouTube using that method, and I think it does work. I just think, you have to know how to do it properly. So if you guys just give me a chance and, bear with me, I think I'll get better at it. But yeah, I think I pretty much covered all my dockets. So I'm pretty proud of myself for doing that. I hope you enjoyed my little theatrical performance when I read the document that I found, the few documents I found on Twitter. They weren't mine, but it was still fun reading them. So yeah, that's going to wrap up tonight's stream. Thank you guys so much for anyone that popped in, even for 5 minutes or 2 minutes. Or anyone that kind of took a peek on Twitter. I appreciate it very, very much. If you want to subscribe, I would appreciate it, and support me through this new journey of mine in commentary and reaction, or providing my opinion on things, whatever's circulating out there. I really enjoy this, so I hope it will pick up for me, and I hope that I'll be successful at it at some point. But yeah, thank you so much for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed the content that I brought, even though we just covered some of the testimony of Dr. Hughes and Dr. Curry. I did focus more on Dr. Curry just because I feel like she just really made more valid points. I don't think that let me just say this in closing. Amber Heard may have PTSD, but it doesn't mean that she doesn't have comorbidly, right? Comorbidly have histrionic and BPD as well. Like, all of them together. It does not mean that she does not have these other personality disorders in addition to having PTSD. So to narrow it down like she just has PTSD is a little, that to me, that's a little, it's just not enough. It's not enough. So anyway, you guys, that's it. Thank you so much for listening. If you did, if you guys think this would be better in any other shape or form, if you see it and you're like, that's too much or too long or too this or too that, I love any pointers for those of you that stream. And if you are out there watching this and you are looking for someone to collab with to talk about the trial, I would love to pair up with any YouTubers out there that would want to go ahead and discuss the trial and have a little bit of fun, girl talk. And that's it. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.